3, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
I think that's it now. 1, 2, 3.
All right, good evening and welcome to Visit Worcestershire New Road for Vitality Blast action. It's the Worcestershire Rapids against the Leicestershire Foxes. Umpires Alex Wolf and Anthony Harris making their way towards the middle, and the news of the toss is that the Foxes won the toss and they've decided to field, and indeed are just taking to the field in front of us, and the flag wavers are doing that. The flags are being waved. Kashi Valley and Brett D'Oliveira opening the batting. I'm Dave Bradley, and my very good friend Mr. Frank Watson is alongside me.
Good evening, brothers. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, good weather. I'm pleased to say the forecast for today was a little bit uncertain, but it looks as though it's going to be clear tonight, and we're getting underway on time in reasonably good light. Not a huge crowd in, which is not surprising given that Worcestershire's season in this competition is all but over, really, just playing for pride now. They are bottom of the table, as we know. Leicestershire, a little bit more to play for them. They're sixth in the table, 10 points from 10 games for them. So if they can win the next one or two, they could still qualify. Worcestershire, not so, but bit of pride to play for, I suppose. The sad thing from a Worcestershire point of view, I guess, is that they've lost a number of games that they could have won. They were in really decent positions to win them. We were there at Old Trafford on Sunday. That was certainly a game where they managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and it could have been so very different.
Ben Mike is going to open up from the New Road end. We'll run you through the teams during this over. No great surprises for the Foxes, it has to be said. So Mike starts the proceedings. Bowling to Brett D'Oliveira, who's flicked that one down to the fine leg boundary by the look of it. Yep. It's just gone out of my sight, but not a bad one. There aren't many better ways than to start the game. Maybe a six, but that was a nice flick off the hips. The Foxes team: Rian Ahmed, Sol Buddinger, Ben Cox, Scott Curry, Lewis Goldsworthy, Peter Hanscom, Josh Hall, Louis Kimber, Ben Mike, Jimmy Neesham and Rishi Patel. That is certainly not in the batting order, because Patel will be opening the batting. Second ball of the game. Beats D'Oliveira. The Worcestershire team, again, not in batting order, but in the order that they're written down here. Matthew Waite, Ed Pollock, Josh Cobb, Gareth Roderick, Brett D'Oliveira, Kashi Valley, Adam Hose, Ethan Brooks, Hayden Walsh, Tom Taylor and Harry Darley, making his home first team debut, and possibly hoping to do a bit better than he did on his debut when Keaton Jennings took a liking to his bowling. Here's D'Oliveira just dabbing down towards third man. There is a third man, so he's only going to pick up a single. 5 without loss, 3 balls gone. As Frank said, not a huge crowd in. It's a Thursday night. I'm never quite sure how they work the fixtures out, but then Worcestershire playing in this competition Thursday, Sunday and Wednesday, so 3 games.
Yeah, and away tomorrow as well.
In a week, an away game tomorrow. But for home spectators, that's a decent outlay. Kashi Valley facing. In the air, but safe enough. Out to Ahmed at square leg. As ever, we'll give you our details in it and ask you to get in touch.
Be pleased to hear.
Just to make sure
that people are getting good quality audio tonight.
Ah, yes. Next ball, D'Oliveira. A thinner edge this time. Or I think the one before he steered down there, but that looked a bit edgy to me. Down to third man for another single. 7 without loss. Also, 5:30 starts tend to catch people out in Worcester. We might get a few more drifting in towards 6 o'clock. Ben Mike, of course, son of I can remember watching his dad play here on many occasions. Last ball of the over in the air, but safe, chipped over mid-wicket. Should be a couple here. Ahmed goes racing round. Somewhat unnecessary slide in my opinion, because they would have come back for 2 anyway. But decent start for Worcestershire, 9 off the first.
Yeah, a little bit fortunate, that last one, leading edge from Kashif, but got away with it. And as you say, brothers, 9 off the first, a good start. Leicestershire have been, well, they've won 10, they've won 5 and lost 5, haven't they? So they've got 10 points from their first 10 games. Decent return. Beat Worcestershire at Grace Road in that game a few weeks ago. And we're going to have Josh Hull taking up the attack from the Diglis end of the ground with his left arm seam. Tall man, fairly pacey, and he's going to be bowling to Brett D'Oliveira. Ooh, wide-ish, but just inside the little blue guideline, I think. D'Oliveira hoping he might get a wide from umpire Alex Wolf, not to be. Yeah, the crowd might gather a little bit, grow a little bit, I should say, as the evening wears on. Hospitality areas are fairly well populated because that's all pre-booked, of course, and there'll be quite a few people who've got their sort of Rapids T20 season tickets. D'Oliveira taken on the pad by this one, runs out on the offside. No run. Return to New Road, of course, for the Foxes wicket-keeper Ben Cox. Very popular figure here for many years, and I saw him having a chat with his mentor, former head coach Steve Rhodes, just before the players took the field. Perhaps still feels a little bit odd for some people seeing Ben Cox playing against Worcestershire. Drive from D'Oliveira, good bit of fielding at cover point. Excellent diving stop by Sol Budinger. It's
unusual for players to come back to New Road not in Nottinghamshire, shouldn't it?
Stop it.
Good start this from Hull. 3 dots.
Yeah, good start. Very full. Getting the ball right up there where he wants it to be. Full and wide. Goes back to a more conventional length this time, and still no runs for D'Oliveira in this over. So Leicestershire Foxes looking to keep their campaign on track, hoping they can still qualify.
Well, we
win
always
here would be very important for them.
We reckon you can lose 6, don't we, and still qualify.
Yeah. So they can lose 1 more.
Yeah.
Down the leg side, and a wide called by umpire Alex Wolf this time. So the first run in this, the second over, brings up double figures for Worcestershire. Worcestershire unchanged from the side that was beaten narrowly, very narrowly, at Old Trafford last Sunday afternoon. Cracking game of cricket, that one. But Worcestershire, in the end, undone with 2 balls to spare. Another good one from Hull, takes D'Oliveira on the pad. Excellent over so far from Josh Hull, just the 1 run from it, and that was a wide. But yeah, Worcestershire, as I was saying, pretty much down to the bare bones, I think it's fair to say, with injuries and so on. And they really, I don't think there were many selection dilemmas for the coaching staff. They just went with the sort of 11 fit players they have, really.
Well, the only thing, maybe a batter came in, Jake Libby, Rob Jones, but
then you'd have had to find another bowler from somewhere. Last ball of the over. Oliveira gives himself room, wants a single, gets sent back, might have been run out had that throw from Lewis Goldsworthy hit the stumps. It didn't. That's a fantastic over from Josh Hull. Just one run from it, and that was a wide. So effectively, bowled 6 dots. Superb stuff from the left arm seamer. The Rapids put into bat 10 without loss of 2.
Jimmy Neesham going to bowl from the New Road end. Vastly experienced New Zealand Test cricketer. Played in that game at Lord's, didn't he, in 2019? That apparently ended in a time with the super over. Kashif Ali faces him.
That's relieved a bit of pressure after that excellent over.
Clubbed over mid-wicket.
We've said, I think, Bradders, a lot of times that one of the things that usually underpins success in this competition is when a team finds a formula that works and they repeat their patterns. Everybody knows who's bowling at the beginning, who's bowling in the middle, who's bowling at the death, what their roles are in the batting order and so on.
Pushed through the covers. It's not going to go to the boundary, this one.
And this year, from a Worcestershire point of view, that's been exactly what they haven't.
Oh,
had.
yeah.
And it's a bit like 2 years ago when they had 3-4 captains and injuries and so on, and you end up trying different batting orders and different people bowl at the beginning and different people bowl at the end, and they haven't discovered a pattern, a repeatable pattern that works this season, and that's
look at the side that's
one of the problems
playing tonight. It's not the side you would have expected before the first game.
No, and it's just not happened.
Flick by Kashif. Should be a single. Ahmed, good fielder Ian Ahmed, which is why he's out on the rope. Gets it back in quickly.
Meanwhile, we watched Lancashire the other night, who have been pretty consistent, and we've seen Warwickshire recently, who have been very, very, very impressive, and they do have kind of set roles. Everybody knows there are very few changes. Everybody knows what their job is.
D'Oliveira gets this one away. They're probably going to get a single. It's parried. They are going to come back for 2. Goldsworthy does the tidying up. Original stop by Sol Budinger, got down well to his right, pushed it round the post, as it were.
Yeah, it was a good stop though. Timed it well.
2
Pressure's
more.
been relieved, hasn't it? Only 1 off that second over, but 9 so far off this one.
Talking to a couple of the a couple of Leicester folks, he's not really settled, Jimmy Neesham. So he's been around a bit, so he knows what he's doing. D'Oliveira gets this one away in the air over top of Goldsworthy, who is chasing it down to the rope and loses the race. So Worcestershire 23 off 17 balls, 6 of which constituted. Is it a maiden over if you bowl a wide?
No.
No. Well, 7 balls that are run off the bat. Last ball of the over. Is that going to be a wide?
Yep.
It is.
$14 off the over so far.
Of course, the lady just walked by with a pizza. Where'd she get that from? Not that I'm hungry. I just want to know where she got it from. D'Oliveira waits again. And that's gone high in the air down towards third man. He could go here. He is gone. D'Oliveira caught down at third man. Ben Mike, methinks, down there, away in the distance. So Worcestershire lose their first wicket with the total on 24. Brett D'Oliveira, who has not had a great competition. Might consider himself a bit unlucky. When you get caught at third man, you think, ooh, if I'd have got a slightly thicker edge, it would have gone for 6.
Yeah, you could say he was a bit unlucky, but well, it's just one of those things, isn't it? When you look at it, you probably think, well, if he hadn't bowled a wide the previous ball, he wouldn't have been on strike.
It's a funny
But if
old
you're caught
game.
at third man, I think given a bit of room, go for it, and you end up being caught at third man, I think you probably regard that as just a kind of occupational hazard, shall we say, in this kind of cricket. New batsman is Josh Cobb. He's not on strike. It's Josh Hull to Kashif Ali. Good from Hull again. Beaten outside the off stump. So Ben Mike taking the catch down at third man to remove D'Oliveira. Safe pair of hands. Don't often see them dropped in this kind of cricket, that straightforward a catch. In fact, the standard of catching has been just remarkable, hasn't it, in this competition this year particularly, I think. Good from Hull again. He's really settled down into a nice rhythm here, big Josh Hull. Still no runs off the bat. He's bowled 8 deliveries, just that one wide.
Was he 6'6", do you reckon? 6'6"?
Yeah, he's a big lad, isn't he? Yeah. Good pace, but it's not just that, it's his control that's been so impressive today. Very good. And another dot. This one fired across Kashif Ali. Just tried a little uppercut, made no contact. 3 more dots.
Well, Ben Cox has stood a long way back and he took that over his head.
Well, these pitches here at New Road have been pretty tricky in T20 cricket, these hybrid pitches. A little bit of uncertainty about what is a good score here at New Road, but I would say 160 or so has been about par most of the games we've seen. Runs for Kashif here. Proper cricket shot, beautifully timed. For the first time, Josh Hull erring in line and length. That was just a foolish half volley outside off stump and just leaned on it, Kashif, nicely timed.
According to the Book of Words, he's 6'7".
There you go.
Says the Playfair Cricket Annual.
Interesting, just referring to that as a proper cricket shot. Not wishing to sound like a dinosaur.
Oh, hello.
Ooh, that one's over. Square leg for 6. That's a really good pickup from Kashif. So Josh Hull, having not conceded any runs off the bat of his first 9 deliveries, has gone for 10 in 2. And that's a beautiful pickup by Kashif off his pads over backward square leg. It goes all the way, first 6 of the game. But going back to my proper cricket shot conversation, talked to Josh Cobb after his innings at Old Trafford on Sunday. An interview that we did for BBC Radio Hereford of Worcester, and he referred to that part of his innings that you will remember, Bradders, and so will probably anybody who is watching, where early on in his innings he lost the plot a bit. More runs for Kashif here. Be 2 more. Good bit of fielding out in the deep. Yeah, he lost the plot, didn't he, a little bit? And when he was being bounced early on, he tried 3 or 4 really reckless sort of hook shots and made no contact whatsoever. And he said to me after the game, you know, I realised after about 8 overs or so that it was a pitch on which to just play proper cricket shots.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I started to score runs.
Yeah.
So it's not just dinosaurs that talk.
No. You don't have to smack everything at the ground, every ball. This pitch, as you mentioned, is one of the hybrid pitches at New Road. It was used yesterday for a women's game, the Central Sparks and the Lancashire Thunder. And I'll just break off, Cobb facing. And well, he's got something on this, and it's gone down to the boundary for 4. It appeared to be a bit too paced. And you could say that the women don't bowl as fast as these guys do, clearly, but it just seemed to be stopping a little bit. But also, one feature of the game, there was I think there was 5 clean bowled in the Sparks innings. But this pitch will be used again tomorrow, I believe, for another 50 over game here for the Central Sparks. Nicely off the back foot, punched away. Should only be 1. Peter Hanscom.
2.
No, 2.
You were going to tell people how to get in touch, brothers.
Get the angle wrong. Oh, yeah, I will.
And I think, as I say, we have had all sorts of problems with our audio on the live stream at New Road, and we've been telling people week after week that we're working on it, we're trying to fix it. We genuinely think we have. Fingers crossed, and they are. You can look on commentator cam, I've got my fingers crossed. So you can get in touch and let us know.
It's called a a wide. Yeah.
And let us know if you're getting nice audio. We get plenty of messages telling us how terrible it is, so it would be lovely, wouldn't it, just to get 1 or 2 saying,
well,
we can hear you chaps.
There might be those that say they can hear us, that's why they're complaining.
Yeah, well, they can always turn the sound down.
They haven't got an excuse now.
Anyway, if you want to, it's on Twitter or X. I'm at Frank Watson 58 and David is at Squiggle Bradders at AT BBC, so at Frank Watson 58 or at Bradders AT BBC.
Push for 1.
Keep it clean.
Yeah. No, we'd like to hear from you. And of course, the wonders of modern science, you could be watching this almost anywhere in the world or parts of Bromyard.
Oh, excellent. I've had 2 messages. One from Tracy in Kemsey, one from Johnny Blaine.
Mike Bowles turned away for... Are they going to go for 2? They are...
could have done.
Complete mess up here. Well, I think Josh Cobb ran 2, but Kashif Ali didn't want to. And that's the second time, because Kashif Ali and Brett D'Oliveira had a mix-up, and D'Oliveira could have been run out with an accurate throw. There was, in the end, Cobb had lots of time to get back, but he's probably saying to Kashif, mate, I'm getting a bit long in the tooth to be running 2s that don't count. So at the end of all that, 1 run.
Anyway, so Johnny and Tracy can hear us loud and clear, which is great news.
Jolly good.
Oh,
shout of catch and the fingers up. Yeah, he's gone. Just a flick down the leg side. Josh Cobb, he actually got a 4 at the start of his innings, and he's gone. Always an unfortunate way to get out. I just said that about Brett D'Oliveira, didn't I?
Yeah, but that is, isn't it? It could have gone for 4, little tiny edge, and he ends up being caught. So there we go. A catch for Ben Cox on his return to New Road, and Josh Cobb pretty unlucky to be out. 45 for 2.
Apparently, it's just been announced that Adam Hose is coming in. He certainly isn't.
Looks like Gareth Roderick.
Unless he's a foot shorter than he used to be. It's actually Gareth Roderick coming in. So what we got left of the power play? 6 balls, 7 balls.
Yeah, pretty unlucky, I think, isn't it, to get caught down there. I mean, it's simple as that, isn't it? Thick edge, 4, thin edge.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Good catch by Ben Cox. Yeah, he's always been excellent at stuff down the leg side. And this is first ball for Gareth Roddick, which is called a wide. Yeah, funny, I do a bit of research, folks, honest. 2009, when Ben Cox made his debut for Worcestershire. Down at Taunton, I remember it well. And a certain well-established England batsman was his first victim. Stumped. Mike in, last ball of the over, and just a dab down into the slip area. Louis Kimber, the fielder. 46 for 2 at the end of the fifth. Good tune, this.
This is Mike the Plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.
To be replaced by another rather tall man who starts with a ball on leg stump, Scott Curry, and it's turned away for a single by Kashif, who goes to 24. He's faced 13 deliveries. Gareth Roderick on strike. So Scott Curry is even taller than Josh Holt.
Is he?
He must be.
Oh, let me have a look in the book.
I reckon.
The book will tell us.
He's got to be 6'7", something like that. In he comes, Curry bowls, full toss. Driven down the ground beautifully by Roderick. That's a good shot because he's just kept his head nice and still, didn't try and hit it too hard. Just made sure that he got good contact on it, Roderick, and down the ground. Here we go, the verdict.
6'5".
Oh, well. Maybe it's just because he's slimmer then.
It's the
and
angle.
What was Hull?
6'6".
Wow.
They're not as tall as Lancashire.
It'd be a good basketball team.
They're all 9 foot tall, Lancashire.
Here's Curry again. Just a single for Roderick this time. Good work, good running. Through they go. 50's up for Worcestershire in the power play. They've only lost 2 wickets. Probably settle for that, I think, wouldn't you? 50 odd in the power play. If you're only 2 down, that's a reasonable power play, I think. If you lose 3, as we often say, difficult to win a game if you lose 3 in the power play. That is huge from Kashif. No, actually, maybe not as huge as I thought it was, because it's 1 bounce for 4, but it went a long way up as well. Decent shot, walked into it, knew what he was doing towards the end of the power play. 10 off the over so far, 10 off the over before. An odd power play because we had that 1 over, the second, which produced only 1 run. Curry again, back of a length this time, just a single. So a power play that produces 50 odd towards 60 runs, containing an over that only went for 1. Relatively unusual, I would say. Gareth Roderick on strike. Goes for that little scoop shot, little flick down the leg side, and that takes the score up to the 60 mark. 61 in fact at the end of the power play. 61 for 2. That might be Worcestershire's best power play of the season so far. Certainly close to it, if not the best. But it's all changed now as Rayan Ahmed comes into the attack. I think going just talking about Gareth Roderick, Brothers, if anybody sums up...
Your bald head's on the screen now, mate.
Yeah. Yes, okay. and yours will be next week.
Mine will be tomorrow night at this time. No, a bit later.
It'll be bolder than mine though, won't it?
It will.
I was going to say, if anybody sums up a season, a campaign, and the inconsistencies therein, as much as Gareth Roderick, I'd be surprised. He's batted at 9, he's batted at 3, he's batted at 4, he's been up and down the order, and it just is symptomatic of the inconsistency in the Worcestershire lineup.
This could be interesting, couldn't it? This could be interesting. Kashif Ali. Well,
Full toss to start with.
Yeah, full toss played pleasantly down the ground.
Good position though, this for Worcestershire. Dare I say it, best power play they've had for a long time. Weather's improved a bit, Branders, if anything. Sun's coming out.
Pleasant evening.
Push that one through, does vary his pace quite nicely. Got a good googly. Seems to have dropped out of the test reckoning again now, doesn't he?
Yeah. One wonders why. Just clipping away for ones now. Often gets to this stage,
does
doesn't it?
Often in the middle overs.
Yeah.
Get your spinner on. Spinner usually bowls the 7th over, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In Worcester's case, it's Hayden Walsh very often. Just push it round for a few overs now. Ooh, could be 2 there. Yeah, good running. They knew, didn't they? As soon as it squirted away.
Yeah, just taking the pace off it, tapping it more than playing it.
Talking about the catching generally, though, in T20 cricket this year.
Ooh.
Not just here, not just in the blast, but in T20 cricket in general. I mean, it's become absolutely commonplace, hasn't it, to see fielders picking up the sort of catch that we saw Jacob Bethel take here a few days ago against Birmingham Bears. Just absolutely extraordinary, the quality of the fielding generally. So much so that when you see one dropped or a misfield like we saw earlier, it takes you by surprise.
Lewis Goldsworthy from the Diglis end.
Yeah, so using his bowling resources quite neatly at the moment. Leicestershire captain Goldsworthy, his left arm. Oh, and he nearly picks up a wicket first ball.
Yeah, just
misjudged the pace of that, Roderick.
Yeah,
maybe it
totally mistimed it.
Lobbed up in the air and just dropped short of
Peter Hanscom.
Peter Hanscom, the captain, at short extra cover. Couldn't quite get there. Goldsworthy in again. Balls, bit of pace this time, a bit quicker, flatter from the left arm spinner. Just swept around the corner by Roderick. It's a good sweeper, likes a sweep shot. Generally plays it with some conviction. Goes to 12, 68 for 2. Down the pitch, Kashif doesn't really time this. Thickish inside edge up to long on for a single. Get through his overs quickly. That's what they want to do. Goldsworthy and Ahmed just whiz through a few overs in these middle overs. Reverse from Roderick. Beautifully played. Outstanding execution of a modern cricket shot, if you like, Gareth Roderick. I mentioned he's a good sweeper. He's also quite a good reverse sweeper, and that was executed perfectly.
They got the 2 men in the circle, haven't they? The short third
Knew
man,
exactly what he was doing.
backward point.
Yeah, beautifully played. Change in the field. Ahmed moving round further behind square on the leg side. Nishan going to change his line a little bit, one would think. Indeed he does. That one runs on with the arm, and Roderick, fortunate, gets an inside edge past the leg stump. Good bowling from Goldsworthy after that reverse. Clever change of line. He's varied his pace quite a bit as well in this over, I think. Fairly flat deliveries generally. and that one nicely bowled. End of the over. 7 runs coming from it. Tidy enough at this stage. 8 gone, 74 for 2.
I've got to say, folks, and you can see it occasionally on your screen, and I think I can say this because I consider him a friend, but I think Ben Cox may have a deceased hedgehog on his head. I've no idea what his hair is. I will inquire a bit later in the day. Rian Ahmed.
Lots of other messages coming in about the sound, which is great. Thank you very much for all of those. Great to hear from you, and I hope you're enjoying it. Somebody said he can almost hear the clatter of the wickets. Well, it's not too bad tonight.
No.
Not too bad, Andy.
Only 2 so far. Come on, Andy. Positive, positive. Ahmed then, New Road End. This ball is... Come on, hold him!
Andy, what have you done?
Hold him. Trying to cut. Might have got a bottom edge on that. I'd like to see a replay.
Good delivery.
But
skidded on a bit, I think, didn't it?
17 against his name, and Worcestershire 74 for 3.
I'm blaming Andy. Andy Buffton, that's your fault. It brings Adam Hose to the crease.
Andy was the man who won some tickets in my raffle to come to the Bears game here. So, thanks, Andy. Adam Hose is coming in. Thought we might have got a replay of that, but we haven't, so you'll have to rely on us. You'll have to rely on us.
Sort of skidded on a little bit. It's pretty... Well, a good bit of bowling, isn't it?
Adam Hose batted very well for the Rapids on Sunday at Old Trafford. Played some expansive shots.
Stephen Kemp's listening in the Algarve, brothers.
In the Algarve?
In the Algarve.
Oh, I thought he meant the Algarve. I thought it was a pub in Morven or something. The Algarve. Portugal. Yeah. See? Comprehensive school geography didn't let me down. Ahmed in, and this is driven back slightly in the air, but past the diving Ahmed's right hand. What's that?
You can't keep them all happy, brothers.
Why?
Harrison Ferris definitely invest in some new chairs, he says. We can hear you all right, but there's a creak.
There.
We've not even had chairs before tonight.
WD-40, Ahmed in again. And played back down the pitch while bowled, just floating it in.
We've been sitting before tonight. We're standing. I mean, it's the first time we've had seats, Harris.
Yeah, well,
give us a break.
It's a long season, mate, to be standing up. Ahmed jogs in again and flicked away. Should only be 1. And indeed it is 1. Buddinger. Sol of that ilk.
Formerly of Notts.
Yep.
Crowd's grown, hasn't it, to be fair?
There are a few more in there. They're not
quite a lot on there.
They're not terribly overexcited so far. Ahmed in again, and that's well bowled. He's bowling well here.
He is.
He's got 11 balls, 1 for 8.
Yeah, he's a good... tremendous prospect. His younger brother's pretty handy off spinner as well, I think, isn't he? Plays for Notts, I think.
What, he hasn't played for somebody else and then played for Notts? Is that what you're saying?
Stop it.
Hose batting on, middling off it looks to me. He's got a shorter delivery there to work away. Well bowled.
Yeah, good over from Ryan Ahmed, that really good
3
over.
under wicket.
Yeah.
77 for 3 Worcestershire. 9th over has gone.
Yeah, excellent from Ryan Ahmed. We're talking about par scores here at New Road, generally thinking 160 or so is about par. And it looks as though it's going to be something similar again tonight, as far as we can tell at this stage. Adam Hose out there with Kashif Ali, who's still there. 35 off 23 for Kashif. And Lewis Goldsworthy to continue from the Diglis end of the ground. Just forced away off the back foot by Hose. We'll get a couple.
The cathedral.
Is he on loan?
He is from Somerset. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The cathedral illuminated.
Because I was going to say he and Ho's both ex-Somerset, but he's not really ex-Somerset if he's on loan.
No. I don't know. No.
Changing the field. Patel being brought to backward point. Pushes this one through Goldsworthy. Single off the back foot for Hose. Neesham the fielder on the cover boundary out in front of us. We're commentating on the pictures you can see, but we're actually sitting exactly halfway down the pitch at cover.
Well, we're behind
strike.
Behind Jimmy Neesham, because
Right
he's just
behind
moved.
the broad shoulders of Jimmy Neesham, wearing number 50 and walking away from us now as Kashif comes down the pitch and hits Goldsworthy straight down the ground for 6 into the Diglis end. Beautiful shot from Kashif. Didn't appear to put a great deal into it, just timed it nicely. Goes to 41. Important that he stays there, dare I say, Radders, for Worcestershire.
If he's there at the end, they'll get a good score.
Bit shorter and flatter from Goldsworthy. He's got him. Important that he stays there, and I've done him, I think. Gone for the sweep, got down low, missed it, back leg, back hip, I think, and might have been going over the top, but he's only a small man, Goldsworthy, and it's not got a lot of bounce. Skidded on, and Kashif, having hit a 6, sees his innings come to a close, and he's out for 41. It's 86 for 4.
He didn't look happy with that. He might get a bit of a chat with the umpires afterwards, because he slammed his bat into the ground. I must admit, my thoughts were it was a bit high when you said that, but the umpire's the man who decides.
Well, it was an excellent innings from Kashif Ali, 41 off 25, but having hit a 6, he went. Goldsworthy responded with a quicker, flatter delivery. And Kashif went down on one knee, looking to whack it away on the leg side, missed it, and I think it hit him round about the right hip. Brooks is the new man, and he's off the mark with a single. The only thing I'd say, and again, it did hit him on the back leg. It's the end of the over, by the way. 87 for 4 at the halfway point, 10 coming off it. The only thing I'd say is if you're bowling left arm around the wicket and it hits the batsman in line, he has to be a fair way back for it to be going on to hit the wicket, because if you bowl round the wicket, think where it's delivered from, if it hits him in line, they're a lot of the time going on to miss. But having said that, I will qualify that by saying that it did hit him on the back leg, and therefore it probably didn't have a long way to go after it hit him to get to the stumps. So good from Goldsworthy. Good from Kashif, but Worcestershire needing to rebuild a bit now at the halfway point.
Ahmed goes for the sweep. Brooks gets nothing on it as far as I could tell. Ahmed. Okay, now he's got it this time. He's got it away. Has he got it down to the rope? He has got it down to the rope. So having failed with the first attempt, Ethan Brooks not afraid to play it again.
That's pretty brave, isn't it? Having missed it the one before. Just have a look at the Kashif one. See where we think it hit him. We might just have time to watch the replay. Oh, that's out. That's out. No
Ahmed in and
complaints.
bowls, and Brooks this time with a proper sweep rather than reverse. Gets it down to Neesham, who's on the deep square leg boundary.
No complaints from
For a
Kashif,
single.
I don't think. He might have been
Well,
annoyed with himself, but if he watches that back as we
It's,
just did, I don't think he'll have any complaints.
It's out because the umpire gave
Good
him
bit
out.
of bowling. Yeah. It's out because the umpire gave him, but
Yeah.
it's also, it was a good decision.
Host face. Gentle. A gentle push. For one.
Camera works much better tonight as well, I think, on our stream. You're not getting replays yet, but we are working on it, folks. We're going to get there. One thing at a time.
Next Wednesday.
We've got seats this week.
Got seats, creaky seats. Ahmed in. Again, just a push. No, they won't get two there.
Seats this week. Sunday we're here again against Yorkshire. We're hoping to have
whatever next.
Hoping to have a roof on by then, aren't we? On the box.
I thought you meant on the ground.
Some glass in the windows, maybe the following game.
Luxury.
Hey.
Yeah, luxury. Last ball of the over.
He gets through his overs.
7 off it so far. And make it 8 with a push down the ground. Although Brooks was sprinting that first one like a greyhound out of the traps with never a chance for a second. So Rain Ahmed has bowled 3 overs and taken 1 for 17. Excellent bowling.
The other figures so far: Ben Mike 2 overs, no maidens, 1 for 19. Josh Hull, who started brilliantly, 2 overs, no maidens, none for 13. 10 of those off 2 balls. Jimmy Neesham 1 over, cost 14. Scott Curry 1 over, cost 15. And Lewis Goldsworthy about to start his 3rd over. He's got 1 for 17 so far. And he'll be bowling to Adam Hose. Is it raining?
No.
Oh, no. Goldsworthy in, bowls, and Hose drives off the back foot, but nicely fielded by Hanscom at extra cover. Dive to his right, no run. And again, straight to the same fielder, but he gets a single this time because he didn't hold on to it. Hit it a bit harder, that one. 2 ex-Warwickshire players out there for the Rapids. Brooks, again, straight to Budinger this time in the covers. Good bowling from Goldsworthy. Bowling to his field. Reverse from Brooks. Nicely executed, but only a single. Straight to fielder out on the backward point boundary. Jimmy Neesham. 1 more for Hose. Tidy from the Foxes in these middle overs so far. Power play was 61 for 2. They've picked up 2 wickets since then. Kept a lid on things. Boundaries have been fairly hard to come by. Kashif hit 2 6s and 3 4s. Nobody else has cleared the ropes. Sweep from Ethan Brooks, just a single.
He's a good fielder, Rain Ahmed.
He is a good fielder, Rain Ahmed, and he's a better fielder than he was a year or 2 ago. I think he's really worked on that aspect of his game, as of course he must. Just 4 off that over from Lewis Goldsworthy, the 12th of the innings. Well bowled.
6 overs, 3 for 38 the spinner, so 2 for 38. Excellent bowling.
Yeah, very good. Worcestershire will be using Hayden Walsh in a similar role to Rayan Ahmed. I think he'll come on at the end of the power play, probably.
And Josh Cobb, maybe.
And Josh Cobb might have a little bowl tonight, having not bowled at Old Trafford on Sunday. But Worcestershire's bowling resources are particularly limited, especially in the spin bowling area at the moment. Brett D'Oliveira will bowl. Brett D'Oliveira is in the side, of course he'll bowl. Changing the bowling here.
Josh Hall, the giant. Brooks gets this one away. Might be a couple. Might be 4.
Not.
Excuse me, got the tickles in the middle of that. Nice shot.
Ben Mike probably think he should have stopped it, but it maybe timed it a little bit better than we thought, perhaps. $100 comes up in the 13th.
tap. One should be. Neesham in from just back with a square on the leg side. It's a nice quiet atmosphere at New Road as opposed to what it'll be at Edgbaston tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Be a different sort of T20 crowd. Hose gets that one away. Down to... Oh, he's got it away to the rope. Good shot. Lewis Goldsworthy down there. Couldn't get round.
West Indies 71 for 5 in the Test match, brothers.
Is that close of play?
Yeah, I think so. Elsewhere, T20 games going on around the country that started later than this one because, of course, no floodlights here. Middlesex 167 for 8 against Gloucestershire after 19 overs. That's at Cheltenham.
Cheltenham, so that would have started early, wouldn't it?
Started early, yeah.
Hull to hose. Pulled. Simple stop for Neesham.
Yes, tomorrow night could be, well, if you're, bear in mind that a lot of people watching and listening tonight will be Foxes fans, not just Rapids fans, but if you are a Rapids fan, it's the Bears away tomorrow night, local derby, and it hasn't been pleasant the last couple of times we've been there.
Hull to bowl and... An expansive dive by they're coming back for a couple. Well run, that is well run. 109. Have I beat the scoreboard? I have. It's 111.
And the Bears also beat the Rapids here a couple of weeks ago, so a bit of a revenge mission. Worcestershire not at full strength.
Silverware available.
Could be a tough night.
The Norman Gifford Trophy.
Indeed.
12 off this one so far. Oh, stays on 12. Optical illusion, I thought that was flying down to the boundary, but it right at a toe ender, methinks. 111 for 4, Nelson it is. 13 overs are gone.
Yeah, well, you'd hope for 10 and over from here, wouldn't you? So that would get Worcestershire up to 180.
Yeah.
Which would be a good score at New Road on this season's measures, but they are 4 down, 10 and over, not that easy to sustain. Adam Hose might be the key, I say, at the risk of cursing him. Probably Worcestershire's best white ball batsman, pound for pound, and he it is who is on strike. We have another change in the bowling. And it's Scott Curry from the Diglis end. First ball is short and cut beautifully by Hose. On top of that, all the way down to backward point boundary for 4. Nice from Adam Hose. The thing I like about Adam Hose in one-day cricket, white ball cricket, and he is, as many people will know, also in the red ball side. Just gets another single here. Trying to make his way in red ball cricket still, really, after quite a long time in the game. Got one first class 100. But the thing I like about him in white ball cricket is that he just always seems to be aware of his options when he's batting. Seems to know exactly where he's trying to hit the ball. Another single for Brooks, steered down to third man. So that first ball of the over, for example, he knew that there was that gap. If he beat the fielder, backward point just played the ball late and made sure he got it into that gap.
And there are a lot of youngsters in tonight, good to see. Watch Ethan Brooks running. He absolutely hurtles down the first, even if it's going to be a simple single, he hurtles down that first run, and there was almost an overthrow there.
There was, yeah.
He puts pressure on the fielders.
Small margins, some things anybody can do. Curry again bowls. And Hose again aware of that gap that I was talking about, given a bit of room, gets his arms free and uppercuts it over backward point. Second boundary of the over, 123 for 4. Adam Hose moves on to 25. Good shot. Umpire Alex Wolf just checks the ball for damage. Another big hit from Hose. Just be 2 this time as Jimmy Neesham does the fielding very well. Tumbling stop, springs to his feet, quite agile for a big man. Gets the throw back in, but they're back for 2. Hose on the charge a bit. 1 ball left in the over. 14 off it so far. Just on leg stump this time. Chipped away. Good running. 2 more to Hose. 16 off that over from Scott Curry. Good over for the Rapids. 125 for 4 with 6 left. Batting to come. Just a fair bit of batting to come. Ed Pollock, Matthew Waite, Tom Taylor, all dangerous ball strikers. Potentially, although Taylor's struggled a bit since his move from Northants. Hayden Walsh and Harry Darley, the inexperienced seamer, bringing up the rear. But certainly Pollock and Waite and Taylor, all very capable ball strikers with 6 overs left. Worcestershire will be hoping they can get up to that 180 or so.
Lewis Goldsworthy back in the attack. Smote.
That's a good word.
Smote.
A lovely word, brothers.
Use it more often.
Smote.
I may use it again in a minute.
Nicely. I bet you will. I'll put money on it.
Down the ground for a single. Is it smote? If he did smote it, was it smoted? You ask yourself. You probably don't, but there you go. Hose to face.
Not smote.
Not smote.
Unsmoted.
Moved across his stumps there, and I think the bowler
saw him coming.
Saw
him doing it.
Yeah.
Nice work. He's bowled well.
Yes, bowled very well.
Really, very well.
That wasn't a smoke. That was a Yahoo. I think
not the prettiest of smites.
It was unsmoted. Sorry about this, folks. At least you can hear us talking nonsense. Goldsworthy in again. This time, bowls him.
Well bowled.
Very well bowled.
Changed his pace nicely.
Yeah, put a bit of pressure on, off stump out the ground. So it's been a funny old game, this, because the runs are coming clusters off the medium paces, but the spinners.
Yeah.
2 for 23 off 22 balls, Goldsworthy. That's good bowling. If he gets through this with a couple more dots, I'm sure Worcestershire skipper Brett D'Oliveira will be looking at this. Doesn't appear to be stopping or uneven bounce on this, but they just bowled well, I think.
Yeah, I think Goldsworthy has actually varied his pace quite subtly. I think not by a huge amount, but just enough to make it a little bit difficult. And that one was through Brooks, wasn't it? Clever bit of bowling. Ed Pollock is the new man. Much happier against seam than spin. Will he just see out the rest of this over? No, he won't.
Whack that down the ground for a single.
Got away with it, just about. If he'd have hit that well, I think he'd have been caught. Just chipped it. He just kind of stopped the shot, didn't he? Just dropped short of the fielder running in from long off.
I've just gone by with a great big ball of chips. Good man. Here's Goldsworthy.
Are you sure you're not hungry?
No. Just played out to mid-on.
It's the end of Goldsworthy's spell.
My wife said to me once, "You're never hungry, but you'll always eat." That's exactly spot on. End of the over. So what we got? 30 balls left. Run a ball gets 161. A run and half a ball gets to 176. I make it.
4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 25 for Lewis Goldsworthy. Excellent stuff from the on loan left arm spinner. Scott Curry will continue from the Diglis end. He has been reasonably expensive. 2 overs for 31 so far. And he's bowling to Adam Hose. With Worcestershire now, just need to launch a little bit in this last 5. And Hose, in attempting to do that, tries a little scoop and doesn't get anything on it. We saw him do that at Old Trafford on Sunday, and he hit it for 6 over third man. It was a magnificent shot, but we also saw several attempts at that shot not make contact, as we did then.
Not happy
good when
about
it comes off, you always say, Brad. It's good when it comes off.
Not happy about something there, Adam Hose.
Curry again. This time Hose plays, dare I say it, proper cricket shot. Very full, straight drive, beautifully played. Timed it very well indeed. Good stuff from Adam Hose. 35 off 23, and yet you can hardly remember anything particularly violent. A couple of good cut shots.
Well, it's as we said with Kashif Ali.
Bad ball away.
If he's there at the end,
yeah,
Worcestershire have a decent score.
Curry, what will his response be? Tries to go full. Also, just takes the pace off it. Nicely bowled. Nearly deceived Adam Hose. Just got a bottom edge out on the leg side for a single. Well bowled Scott Curry. Nice change of pace.
It's going to be interesting at the end of this innings to compare the overs by the spin bowlers, the slower bowlers, to the medium pacers, because there's been quite a contrast.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that I am sure has been noted on the Worcester dugout, which is just outside our commentary pod here. Pollock on strike for the first time against Curry. Width, driven in the air and brilliantly caught. So Ed Pollock going for the big hit on the offside. Top edge sliced up into the air. Dangerous man Ed Pollock in the last few overs, but unable to beat the fielder. Good catch actually, running back from mid-off by
it's one of the
Lewis
giants.
Kimber, who hasn't done much yet.
Was it Kimber? Okay.
But he's a dangerous man, I can tell you, when the bat in his hand has a breathtaking double hundred in County Championship cricket a couple of weeks ago at Hove.
What an innings that was.
I'll tell you, one of the finest, one of the finest, I was going to say one day innings, championship innings, but it was in one day mode that you will ever see. Absolutely
243 off 127 balls.
Absolutely magnificent.
And he beat the record of most runs off an over that was set here about 3 days
4 days before.
Yeah.
136 for 6. New batsman is Matthew Waite. Curry bowls and he's got him. Matthew Waite is out. LBW, first ball. And Worcestershire now, well, in danger of falling away. And Scott Curry, having struggled a little bit early on, has picked up 2 in 2 balls. And they're 2 important wickets, 2 dangerous ball strikers. Ed Pollock caught by Louis Kimber, and now Matthew Waite, LBW, without scoring. Worcestershire, well, now they're in danger, brothers, of not using up their overs, which would be a disaster. Tom Taylor's the new man.
It's a funny old game, this. As you say, Tom Curry struggled in his first 2 overs, went for a boundary off the second ball of this over. 2 wickets, puts a whole different complexion. Tom Taylor, a decent batsman, but not too much to come after him.
No, not at all.
Hayden Walsh has smoked a couple of big sixes, but
they do not want to get bowled out in under 20 overs. Just a few minutes ago we thought they were on for about 170, 180. Here's Curry into Taylor. He's on a hat-trick. Takes him on the pad. Shouts, but clearly going down the leg side. Don't blame him for having a shout. End of the over. 2 wickets coming from it. And, more importantly...
so you can hear it, that is a scatter blast.
How many came off it? 1, 3, 11 actually, so not the most, not the cheapest of overs. 11 off it. Goodness me, I didn't realise there were that many off that one. Just having a look back. Hose hit a 4. No, they weren't 11. 5. 5 off it.
Yeah.
Beg your pardon. Hadn't put the one in from the previous over, brothers.
Rian Ahmed
3, 6 or 7.
to finish his spell today. If Worcestershire got to 160 from here, they'd probably be relatively pleased. 24 balls left to score 24 runs, but only 3 wickets left.
It's fallen away, hasn't it? It's fallen away. And the thing is, Adam Hose is now, his hands are tied a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's still had a couple more wickets in hand. He could really chance his arm, but if he gets out now, they're going to struggle even to get 150.
He's bold.
Good pace. Fizz off the pitch from Ahmed. Exciting young bowler, isn't he?
He's bowled a full toss there. It's pinged away for a single. Well, the crowd weren't overexcited, to be honest, before, and they have gone very quiet now.
Beautiful evening.
Wow, super, isn't
The
it?
sun's out. It's glorious.
Ahmed to Taylor. Slip coming in. Brave stuff from the Foxes.
Excellent bowling.
Very straightforward defensive. Last ball of his spell, is it? No, 2 to go. Oh, that's a full toss. Has been whipped away, reversed down towards the boundary. It's not going to get there. They will come back for a couple. This is the last ball of Ahmed's spell, as you can see on the screen. 1 for 20 of 23 balls. Taylor goes to the reverse. Cox whips off the bails. 3 off the over. Well bowled, Rian Ahmed.
Very good. Ahmed and Goldsworthy between them. 8 overs, 3 for 45. Could be crucial, brothers. That could be absolutely crucial.
Less than 6 and over.
Very, very good from the 2 spinners. What have Worcestershire got left? 3 overs to go.
And I don't think the pitch has helped them that much, has it, Frank? Oh, you know, they've just bowled well.
No, don't think so. Not a huge amount of turn. They both varied their pace really well. I like the way Ahmed bowls that one that just fizzes on. It's quite flat and quick in this form of cricket. Goldsworthy was very clever with his changes of pace. Jimmy Neesham back into the attack. He was quite expensive early on. 14 off the 1 over he's bowled. But Adam Hose, as we were saying, his hands are a little bit tied now. Field is well spread. Obviously just the 4 men inside the circle. Neesham dropping a man back out on the backward point boundary. Hose having found that area a couple of times. He might go over mid-off. He got mid-off in the circle, extra cover in the circle. 3rd man and fine leg in the circle. Neesham in. Goes fullish. Just driven by Hose. He'll only get 1. That's good from a Fox's point of view. Gets Hose off strike. They've bowled really well, particularly in this last sort of 6 or 7 over block.
Do you know what? We always keep saying this. If you want to slow down the run rate,
Get a wicket or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And 2, Waite and Pollock disappear in the space of 2 balls. 2 very dangerous ball strikers. Been well focused, the Foxes. Neesham again in. Bowls on a length. Taylor just squeezes out on the offside. Good running. We get one. It doesn't go very far off the bat. Still think 160 is about par for these pitches here at New Road. Worcestershire will know that. Leicestershire will know that, of course, because they have a team of analysts who will have been doing their work. They'll know exactly what sort of thing they should be chasing. And when they won the toss and chose to bowl first, they'll have had something like this in mind. Neesham again. Moves across his stumps this time. Hose. Lifts that back over the bowler's head. And he might have fancied 4, but a good bit of work out there by Scott Curry, charging around behind the bowler and flicking the ball back in and making sure that they only got 2. So well supported, his bowler well supported by Scott Curry there. Those goes to 40. Drives this one through the covers. And they pick up a couple. Just losing the shot of the batsman a tiny bit early on those last couple. So I don't see the shot completed. I'll have to look up, see where it's gone. I wonder if we could possibly get the camera behind the bowler's arm to stay on the batter for just a little bit longer until the shot's completed. 145 for 7. Neesham with 2 balls left in his second over. He's in, that's better. Beautifully struck down the ground by Adam Hose. Gave himself a bit of room. Beautifully struck and beautifully shot. Our cameraman who stayed
very good.
Exactly the right amount of time. Makes life a lot easier. 149 for 7. 10 off the over. It's good from a Rapids point of view. Adam Hose now, I would suggest, will be looking for a single. It would be great from a Rapids point of view if he kept the strike. Jimmy Neesham trying to keep him where he is. It's a Yorker in fact, Hose drives and has got that single as Curry is the fielder at long on, taking the ball on 1 first bounce. So the end of a good over from a Rapids point of view. The 150 is up, 11 runs came from it, 7 wickets down, 2 overs left, and Adam Hose has kept the strike. He's 47 off 32. Tom Taylor is 3 off 5. The men out, if you're just joining us: Brett Dolliver for 12, Josh Cobb for 7, Gareth Roderick for 17, Kashif Ali for an excellent 41 off 25 deliveries, Ethan Brooks for 18, and then in quick succession Ed Pollock for 1 and Matthew Waite without scoring.
Scott Curry, New Road End. Evening to Dormston. Good to hear you boys on commentary, he says. Still seems a bit strange seeing Coxey playing against the Pairs or the Rapids. Commentary is 100% better than the last few games. Martley Pavilion looks amazing. Speaking of which, 2 weeks tomorrow, the Joe Leach International All-Stars will be tipping up down at Martley. A testimonial game up in the Martley Pavilion, 165th anniversary, etc. It's all on social media. Got that one away over, well, backward point, we'll call it. Probably more like a shortish third man, and that's a 50 for Adam Hose. Well batted, come off 33 balls.
50 off 33 balls.
Holding Worcestershire together here. Again, yeah, there's only 11 balls left, but if he's there at the end, Worcestershire might get up to that 170, 175 mark. Curry's next ball, he's that's gone out over extra cover. I lost the flight of that.
Brothers.
He smote it.
Yeah.
I lost the flight of that completely because it was a white ball against a white building in the background.
Very clever shot.
It
He kind
was.
of waited for it. I think he bowled it slightly slower, Curry, and Hose just waited for it. Hit it on the up. Very, very clever
and he got mid-off inside the circle, so he knew.
That's
as long
what
as
I
he
mean
got it
about
over.
no, he knows. He
Yeah.
knows where the gaps are.
Well,
Seems that way to me anyway.
Change here, because mid-off's gone to long off, and Neesham, who was at square leg, has come off the rope, and he's just about inside the circle as Curry bowls. Oh, I don't know what that was. I would say that's a no ball and a free hit. Umpire says no ball, and a warning for the bowler. Is that not a free hit?
Yep.
It is a free hit, thank you, umpire. So, he did apologise straight away, Scott Curry.
Yeah,
I have to say.
I think he's just trying for the Yorker,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Just slipped out me hand.
Handy for Hose if he can clear the ropes off this free hit.
And he can't.
It's a wide.
It's a wide, so it's still a free hit. Yeah, umpire
Yeah.
said still a free hit. So Scott
Curry,
Curry,
2 for 47. He's got those 2 in 2, but he's struggled a little bit.
he'll remember
the
those
rest of the
two balls, won't he? But yeah, the rest of it he'll try and forget. So, can Hose get a bat on this? Seems he
Yeah.
can.
Huge.
Seems he gets a lot of bat on it.
Huge.
Seems it may have gone into the new road. If it's not gone into the new road, certainly bounced onto the roof of the hospitality boxes over there. So you could say that one ball has cost 9 runs.
Yeah. It's a
2 for
cruel,
the no
it's
ball.
a cruel game,
One
isn't
for
it?
the, yeah, it
sometimes?
is. Yeah.
It's a
2
cruel
for
game.
53 now, Scott Curry. And we're probably going to have another ball, are we? Everybody's looking up as to where it might have gone. It went out of our sight. So, we can't tell you. Well, I can't tell you where it's gone. In fact, we have. The box of balls is being brought out.
That's gone a long way, hasn't it?
That has
one?
gone. If it's bounced on the roof, it's
bounced on the pavilion roof, gone
Yeah.
over into the King's School, perhaps, something like that.
into the new road.
Yeah, maybe into the new road.
Be a good
Yeah.
shot if it went that way into the King's School, mate.
Into the King's School field.
No, it's over there.
No, it's not. It's behind us.
No, it's there. Oh, I see what you mean. That field. No. You've got the angle on that. I thought you meant it had bounced off there and gone all
Could have done.
on the other side of the ground. I failed geography because I couldn't find my way to the classroom.
Anyway, it was a cracking shot.
It was a great
It's given
shot.
Scott Curry a bit to think about.
Well, that
he'll
wa-
try and get that Yorker, and he's still got to bowl 3 more in this over.
180 is on.
It is now.
What can he do? He can pick up a single here, Hose.
Yeah.
Louis Kimber, the fielder. The shadows begin to lengthen of the pavilion across the field. As pleasant an evening as we've had for T20 cricket this summer, I think, at New Road. Struck down the ground. At least I'm trying to stop myself from saying smoke now. Struck down the ground by Tom Taylor.
One more in the over. He wants to keep the strike, doesn't he? Hose. Keep the strike here. Get a single. And then find the ropes. Clear the ropes a couple of times in the last over, perhaps.
He's got that one away out to deep square leg. Should only be a single. Neesham, the fielder.
Strike.
There it is, a single. And Hose on strike for the last over.
20 off that one. So that 180 is on again. Brothers, you're talking about Martley and the Joe Leach testimonial. You're having
Yeah.
all your hair shaved off
Tomorrow
at the
night,
weekend.
it's all coming
Is
off.
there a link if people want to make a donation?
There is.
Would you like to plug it?
I would if I could remember what it was.
Well,
if
if
you
they
go on-
Google Martley Cricket Club or something, they'll find the link.
Martley
won't they?
Pavilion, that'll do.
Martley. If you're from Leicestershire, you'd like to contribute. Martley Cricket Club, local cricket club, grassroots cricket club here in Worcestershire. Brothers' home club, building a new pavilion. Beautiful construction, great effort for a local club. Bring through lots of youngsters, and Brothers is shaving all his hair off to raise money to pay for the pavilion. I've contributed £10.
You
so
have.
It must be a good
which
cause.
I've actually framed.
Exactly.
Kept.
Yeah, I know. Don't blame you. Josh Hull to bowl the last over. Bowls and Adam Hose is out. He's gone for that little scoop shot. He's not got it right. And Ben Cox, running back, has taken a catch. So Hose dies by the sword, having lived by the sword. Made a brilliant 63 off 39 balls, but he has gone to the first ball of the last over, caught by Ben Cox off the bowling of Josh Hull. Hull's first wicket, and I have to say he has absolutely deserved it. But a splendid innings from Adam Hose, and the new batsman is Hayden Walsh. Just going back to the Martley stuff and the testimonial, Joe Leach testimonial is being supported at Martley. Week on Sunday, is it, Brad?
No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow.
2 weeks tomorrow. 2 weeks tomorrow. I'm not here because I'm on holiday.
26th.
Which is a bit of a shame, as I am the chair of the Joe Leach testimonial. But please support it. Lots of other things to support as well. We've got a quiz coming up at the Lamb and Flag in
Sold
Worcester.
out.
Brothers, it is sold out.
Yeah.
But
first question is, who are you looking at?
First question is, where are you sitting? I'm in a team.
Oh
for the
dear.
quiz. I've got
Could
no
be
inside information.
Could be a long night for your
Decent
3
work.
compatriots.
Well, it will be if you're doing it. Here's Josh Hull to bowl to Hayden Walsh. Second ball of the final over of the innings. He bowls and Walsh swings meatily at this and just gets to bottom edge. Picks up a single. Tom Taylor on strike, 4 balls left. And just one other mention. I do mention this most times that we're on air, but not everybody will know about it. Fantastic night lined up to finish the Joe Leach testimonial year at Lord's, Friday, November the 22nd, in the long room. A really fantastic lineup. We've got 3 former England captains lined up as speakers. Alex Stewart, Sir Alistair Cook and Michael Atherton. We'll just break off as Hull bowls again, and this one is whacked away by Taylor all the way for 6 over mid-wicket. Dropped it in short. Hull and Taylor just timed it nicely, just cleared the fielder out there on the mid-wicket boundary. So a welcome 6 takes Worcestershire to within reach of that 177 for 8 now, with 3 balls left. And also on that night at Lord's, Simon Hughes, the analyst, former Middlesex and Durham fast bowler, will be the MC for the evening. Should be an absolutely magnificent evening. I'll just break off as Hull comes in again. Beats Taylor this time. Should be a magnificent evening in the long room. It's not cheap, but it is a potentially memorable evening. There are various packages available. Tour of Lords is possible. Champagne reception in the home dressing room is possible. Have a look at the Joe Leach testimonial website. Just Google Joe Leach testimonial. Find out about that. And various other days, golf days, quiz days, etc., etc.
I've been to.
And also supporting Macmillan Cancer Care and the Professional Cricketers Trust.
Dinners in the long room. Very special.
Josh Hull over the wicket, bowls, cut by Taylor nicely, but he'll only get a single. Jimmy Neesham out in front of us. Not his best throw of the night, Neesham, but good enough. Got the ball away and quickly enough to prevent anything more than a single.
Yeah, they turn
so 1 ball left in the innings.
Turn all the lights off and they have the candles, don't they? With the reflecting in the mirrors. Wonderful. If you can go, give yourself a treat.
It'll be similar to Martley.
Similar. Only they'll have
last
electric.
ball of the innings. And Walsh smashes it out to mid-wicket, and it has gone all the way for 6. A great way to finish the innings. Almost caught in the deep, just cleared the rope. Hayden Walsh then hits the last ball of the innings for 6, and the Rapids close on 184 for 8, which is as good a score as they've, off the top of my head, got in almost any game this year, and certainly the best score that they have posted here at New Road. We said 160 was par. I think this pitch has possibly played a little bit better than the previous ones that we've seen here at New Road, Brothers, in terms of consistency of bounce and pace. But it remains to be seen whether that will be enough. But it's a very, very good effort, thanks mainly to Adam Hose and Kashif Ali.
And if you want to see if it is enough, then stay with us, because obviously the pictures will continue. We're going to go and take the weight off Air Mortgage for 10 minutes, and we'll speak to you as soon as the teams are on their way out.
This is Mike the Plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.
Welcome back to New Road, where Leicestershire are about to begin their pursuit of 185 for victory. Rishi Patel and Sol Budinger are the two opening batsmen. Tom Taylor will take up the attack for Worcestershire from the New Road end of the ground. And he's bowling to Patel, who's been in fine form in this competition so far this season. Worcestershire 184 for 8 in their 20 overs. Top scorer Adam Ho's 63. Kashif Ali made 41. Patel stands in that very wide footed stance. Taylor is in turn. First ball takes him on the pad, runs out on the leg side, and they scamper through for a leg bite. So they are up and running.
And, Rishi Patel has been playing that anchor role, hasn't he, for the Foxes? As we used to see in this form of cricket when... I can hear music somewhere.
Oh, that's my phone.
When we first started playing this sort of cricket, you used to get an anchor man and somebody trying to smack it out the ground. And Patel, particularly in the match between these two teams at Grace Road, played it perfectly.
Edged away for a single this time by Sol Budinger, former Notts man, left-hander. Yeah, ways of playing the game keep changing in this shorter format as well as in the longer format. Usually the bowlers come up with different plans and ideas. Taylor gets this one right, Patel can't time it back to the bowler. So some years it's the slow bouncer, some years it's the wide Yorker, and then I think the stats tell us that still the ball, which is most difficult to score off, is the one that's targeting the top of off stump.
Yeah.
But then at one point it was ideal to have an anchor man, then everybody was trying to whack it right from the start, and now I think this year we've seen sometimes somebody just going through, getting 70 or 80 can be the key to a team getting a really big score. So again, and Taylor gets Patel, goes for the big drive, inside edge, onto the stumps. Great start for Tom Taylor. The Foxes are 2 for 1 in the first over.
Well bowled Tom Taylor. He got one just earlier in the over, just to, in fact, the previous ball, just to shape back in. I think that's what that one did, and that's a really good wicket for the Rapids. Patel, who's been in decent form in this competition, makes the lonely walk back.
Yeah, he's out without scoring. 2 for 1. 185 is the target. Tom Taylor, well, you could say he got lucky, got a bit of an inside edge. Never a good way to be out, but Rishi Patel has gone. And Rayan Ahmed coming in at number 3. That's a real pinch hitting proposition, I think, because Ahmed is a dangerous striker of the ball, but He's not going to scamper up and down between the wickets. I think he's going to try and stand and deliver.
He scampers around the outfield pretty rapidly.
He tends to, in my experience anyway, he tends to like to give it a whack. And he's out there to do just that. 2 for 1. And he faces up to his first ball. And he's taken on the pad, and there's a shout for LBW, but I think it did swing in, that one. And umpire not making a signal suggesting that he actually got a little bit of a nick on that anyway. But I think it was doing too much from first observation. Probably going away down the leg side. So Ahmed is off the mark. He joins Sol Budinger on 1. Just a reminder that if you'd like to get in touch with us here in the pod at Visit Worcestershire New Road, you can do so via Twitter or X. Budinger on strike, the left-hander, as Taylor bowls, and he just pushes this one out on the offside end of the good first over from Tom Taylor. The score is 3 for 1. You can get in touch. I am at Frank Watson 58, at Frank Watson 58, and alongside me Dave Bradley is at Bradders AT BBC, at Bradders AT BBC. Always happy to hear from our viewers, listeners. Here's an interesting one. I talked about Worcestershire not having repeatable plans. Well, we've got Josh Cobb going to bowl the second over. Didn't even get a bowl at Old Trafford in the last game on Sunday. No.
Well, there's obviously been some discussions amongst the higher echelons. Very interesting. Just looking for the scouts who's out. Deep mid-wicket and long on are those on the boundary, and deep mid-wicket is called into action. Ethan Brooks out there. Another man who's very quick over the ground. Field changes for the left-hander with Walsh going out to deep mid-wicket. Looks like Adam Hose might be at long on. Cobb around the wicket. Pushed for, in fact he's beat the infield, so might go away for a couple. D'Oliveira chases it down. 2 it is. Is that your phone, or have your eggs done in your microwave? Whacked away. This is going to pick out Hose, who is the fielder down at long on. Got a microwave in the box, folks. Very useful. Creaky chairs and microwaves.
Squeaky chairs, microwaves.
That's a great...
No food, though.
Creaky chairs and microwaves.
Sitcom. Shall we write it?
Yeah. 7 for 1. 185 needed for victory. Ahmed to face. Cobb angles this one in.
Round the wicket.
Round the wicket and on the stumps. He says with some surprise. 4 off 4 so far. And should be a push for 1. Cobb's got to do his own fielding here. In fact, Brooks could have picked it up at 5 off 5, which he'll be reasonably happy with. It's the old, can he get out of the over without conceding a boundary? Seems he can. In fact, he gets out of with a dot ball. Cashy value of the bright orange boots does the fielding, and I'm not sure what Rob Jones is doing. He's bringing the helmet on and off, and I'm not sure he's taking the mick out of there, but he's running in very short paces. One of one of the game's fun characters, Rob Jones. But good over that from Cobb.
Yeah, very good over. Important that they keep the lid on things in the power play. 185 the target. Good start by the Rapids. Big over for young Harry Darley this. He might be about to get his first wicket in senior cricket. He has got his first wicket in senior cricket. Had a bit of a nightmare introduction to the side at Old Trafford the other day, Harry Darley. But given the chance here to bowl the third over of the innings, and with his first ball, he picks up his first wicket, and it's an important one. It's Rayan Ahmed going for the big hit, got a top edge, flew up high on the offside, and Ethan Brooks running in from backward point took a good low catch. So Harry Darley picks up his first wicket in senior cricket. Ethan Brooks the catcher, and Rayan Ahmed has departed for 3.
It's a funny old game, this, isn't it? You know, if that had dropped short, gone over the fielder's head for a boundary, but it didn't. So the bowler's spirits are up.
Yeah, it's
Confidence.
a big. To be fair, it was a horrible debut for young Harry Darley at Old Trafford the other day. So
Keaton Jennings
to come
took a
back and
liking.
get this wicket is great for him. He's in again now. Down the leg side, this one though, wide chord. New batsman is Peter Hanscom, experienced Foxes captain. Seen it all before. 8 for 2, not the best start, but a long way to go. 9 for 2 now with the wide. There's Darley again. No leap, Darley runs through the crease. And he's got another one! Peter Hanscom is out, caught at mid-wicket by Ed Pollock, clipped away. And I mean, I know you just said it, brothers, a funny old game. And they say all sorts of things, mother cricket, great lever, all that kind of thing. But Harry Darley, on Sunday at Old Trafford, was in the depths of despair, really, on debut. And now, another day, another game, he's picked up 2 wickets in 3 balls. They're both international cricketers, and the world seems a much happier place for him. 9 for 3.
It is a daft old game, and small margins. You know, if that would have been clipped past the fielder, then he would have bowled 3 balls, one of which was a wide. Heads go down. Confidence is such a thing. We talk about momentum, I call it confidence. So, Jimmy
Hanscom
Neesham
goes.
Jimmy Neesham, the new man. What were the Bears? They were about 9 for 3, weren't they? When they got victory here.
Yes.
With some
They
excellent
were,
batting.
yes. Anything could still happen. Darley is in again. That one angled across the left hander. A little bit of movement for the youngster. Left alone by Neesham. 2 left-handers in now. 9 for 3. It's, as you quite rightly say, brothers, the Bears did it from a very similar position, but you'd rather be in the Rapids position than the Foxes at the moment. As Darley is in again, bowls. That one's wide outside the off stump, almost wide enough for the umpire to call it wide, but he doesn't. And it just about got that right as it went across Neesham. Big burly fella, Jimmy Neesham, capable of hitting a long ball, as we all know. But good start for the Rapids. And a good start for Harry Darley, youngster. He's in again now, bowl short. Neesham pulls this away on the leg side. Ethan Brooks is again called into action out there on the boundary, and they take just a single. Lovely evening now here at New Road. Chilly, perhaps. Not quite the temperature you might expect in mid-July, but Very bright blue sky. Cathedral looks a picture. Darley again, and Budinger this time pulls away on the leg side, and again Brooks is the fielder, and again they get a single. That is the end of the over for Harry Darley. 2 wickets coming from it. 11 for 3. 3 runs off the over.
Yes, we were conjecturing today, my good lady wife and myself, only because I like watching the Tour de France, and I watch the stage if I can, all the highlights. And this time last year, I remember lying on the bed with 3 fans whirring away because it was so hot. I think it was record temperatures. It was either this week or next week, and we haven't got anywhere near that. In fact, I was mowing a cricket pitch this morning with a jacket on a big mower, by the way. Here's Cobb continuing, and that's been smashed down the ground for a single. Who's that? Tom Taylor is way out at long on. Yeah, it was nippy, but there we are.
When you say a jacket, you're mowing in a jacket. I presume you mean a
lightweight jacket,
not sort of lapels and sort
no,
of
not a dinner jacket.
No.
We're not that posh. Yeah, that'd be a thing, wouldn't it?
Mowing our cricket pitch. Sound like, I was talking to my wife and I was mowing our cricket pitch.
Oh, I don't talk to my wife when I'm mowing the cricket pitch. I talk to her about it, which usually brings a silence. Nice little push for a single.
It makes it sound like you've got one in the back.
Oh, yeah.
You mean Martley Cricket Club?
Of such things, dreams are made. Open your curtains and there's your cricket pitch. I'm not a multi-millionaire yet. Cobb bowls.
Well bowled.
Yeah.
Now, the dilemma for these Foxes batsmen now is do you just try and get a little bit of solidity for 3 or 4 overs and risk getting the run rate up to 12 or something, or do you try and play some shots and get back on top? This is where I thought in that game against the Birmingham Bears, Sam Hain and the youngster who played so brilliantly alongside him, Jacob Bethel, they played so perfectly. They managed to do that, didn't they? They managed to stay in the game, keep the scoreboard ticking over, not take too many risks. It was a brilliant effort, but it's tough to do.
Josh Cobb here, bowling round the wicket to the left-hander, is actually bowling at the stumps, which is not often to be seen. Down the pitch, driven. Taylor, long on.
Good over from Cobb.
4. 9 off 2 overs, Josh Cobb. As you say, difficult for the batsman here, because if another one goes, then the prospects of victory. Lovely view on our screens there of across New Road, sun-bathed New Road with the cathedral in the background. Not many better sights in cricket, folks.
Even better than Martley Cricket Club New Pavilion.
It's not quite as big as the cathedral.
Ethan Brooks is coming into the attack, I think. No, he's not. Tom Taylor is coming into the attack. So Harry Darley whipped out of the attack after taking those 2 wickets, and Tom Taylor coming back in to bowl at the 2 left-handers from the New Road end. And that's a good start for him. Neesham unable to get that one away, indicating to his partner just a little bit of movement away from the left-hander, sort of just be dipping into the right-hander from Taylor. Here he is again, and a run for Neesham, just tucked off his pads this time. 16 for 3. Worcestershire supporters fairly quiet at the moment, enjoying what they've seen so far, but they've seen a lot of promising situations this season not produce results. As I said earlier, Foxes fans who are watching and listening might not be aware of. They will be aware of what happened in the game at Grace Road, which was very tight. But they might not be aware, that's Buildup beaten, that Worcestershire, when you look at the stats, they've only won 2 games. They've lost 8. But in fact, I would say probably in 4, if not 5 of those 8 games, they've been very much in the game, and in a couple of them they've been absolutely in a winning position and managed not to win, as was the case at Old Trafford, for example, last Sunday. Taylor bowls. This one is edged down to the boundary for 4. No, it's not, it's only for 2, because Hayden Walsh, who I plead mitigation, is out of my sight, away to the right, comes round from underneath the ladies' pavilion and does the fielding. So 2 runs for Buildup, and it's 18 for 3 on a glorious New Road evening. And the crowd, actually, we were a little bit sceptical earlier on, saying it was fairly sparse. It's actually grown quite considerably throughout the evening, and it really does look a picture now. Taylor bowls, and that will be 4 down the leg side. Big swing at that by Buildup. Doesn't get anything on it, but takes the pad and runs away to the boundary for 4. So an error of line from Taylor.
West Indies have closed on 79 for 6.
Yeah, 2 wickets each, I think, for Anderson, Atkinson and Wokes, I think, possibly.
I think Jimmy Anderson.
Stokes, maybe. Stokes, Anderson and Atkinson.
He will have bowled against tougher opposition, Jimmy Anderson, in the many test matches he's played.
Well, we saw Gus Atkinson bowl very well here, didn't we, a week or 2 ago in the Championship. This one from Taylor is a wicket! Quicker across the left-hander, and Buildup goes for the big hit on the leg side, edges through to Gareth Roderick, and the Foxes are in a bit of disarray, it has to be said. They are 22 for 4 in the 5th over, and Tom Taylor has his 2nd wicket.
Yes, a lot of disarray, I think. But as we say, it's a lose-lose situation, isn't it? You know, you can pat it around and your run rate goes up to 12, 13 and over, or you can have a bit of a go, which he did. Got the edge. Gareth Roderick taking the catch above his head. Looks as if Matthew Waite is going to bowl, so certainly D'Oliveira ringing the changes.
Well, he's bowled pretty well this season, Matthew Waite, in all forms.
Yeah, he didn't bowl in this competition for a while, did he?
He didn't. He was opening the batting at the start of the campaign. And, well, there you go. That just once again speaks of the sort of inconsistent nature of the Rapids campaign, both in terms of personnel and in terms of plans and batting orders and all sorts.
Waite it is, Diglis End. A push for a dot, or a click of the scorer's mouse, as it is these days. I always wonder if Jake Ball, well-known cricketer, called his daughter Dorothy, would she have been Dot Ball? You'll ask yourself. You probably don't, but keeps me awake. Waite in bowls. Ooh. That looks as if it was going to go a long way, and in fact, he just trickled back down the pitch.
I think they're just going to go for it. You know,
might as well be all out for 60 as.
It looks that way, doesn't it? If the run rate's getting up towards 12 as early as this, somebody's got to play one of those incredible innings. You know, a sort of 80 or 40 or something like that.
You can't get a winning draw or a losing draw in this.
That's 6.
That's gone a long way. Yep, over Hayden Walsh.
Yeah, just a flick.
Nice shot. You say, powerful man. Just drift into his leg stump.
Just a flick.
Boom.
But that's it, isn't it? Somebody's got to do that. There's no point finishing 30, 35 short. Ben Cox still to come. seen him do it on lots of occasions, as have many of the people here at New Road.
Push for nothing. Kashif Ali, he of the orange boots. In the Women's International Canterbury T20, New Zealand women 76 for 3 in the 13th, is that? It is indeed.
Oh, he's got him.
Caught behind. I mean, a bit of a flat-footed waft, to be honest, at a ball that was just fading away. And the Foxes are in deep doo-doo. They're being hunted down here.
Yeah, good comeback from Matthew Waite, having been hit for that 6. I mentioned Ben Cox. I think he's the man coming out now to join Louis Kimber. We all know what Kimber can do, so it ain't over yet, but 28 for 5 in the power play is a pretty dismal situation, and not one that many teams come back from. Not impossible, I'll never say that. I saw Kimber strike the ball amazingly well in the championship, of course, as we were referring to earlier, but in these circumstances the run rate now is creeping up towards 12, and the Foxes are 5 down inside the power play, so they're in an even worse situation than the Bears were in when they recovered, and it's a tall order now. Ben Cox will have hoped for a better situation when he came back today.
Yeah. 20 to win with 6 wickets in hand, 3 overs left. That's what he would have hoped for.
And it kind of underlines
it's all going
the way that Worcestershire have been in this competition, doesn't it?
Yeah, all going the Rapids way.
And if it just, I think it also genuinely and just indicates that the margins in this game are so small.
Waite's last ball of the over, and it's gone away down to fine leg. Good stop by Josh Cobb, got down well. Ben Cox off the mark, and the Foxes are 29 for 5, needing 185 for victory.
29 for 5 in the power play. Worcestershire was 61 for 2 in their power play, so quite a contrast. Brett D'Oliveira is going to have a bowl. How many deliveries will there be in this over before Ben Cox plays a sweep shot? I'll let you answer that.
I wouldn't bet on it for too long.
Not many. He likes a sweep and he plays it expertly. Plays a little reverse as well. But Worcestershire will know that very, very well. Josh Cobb is being posted out to deep backward square leg. There's also a man at long leg. It's not D'Oliveira, beg your pardon, it's Harry Darley. Into bowl to Cox, who is beaten outside the off stump. Good one from Harry Darley. Apologies if I misled you. Saw D'Oliveira with the ball standing behind the umpire a minute or two ago. Thought he was going to bowl, but in fact he was just sizing things up and decided to give Harry Darley a second over. Darley having picked up 2 wickets in his first over, and he'll be walking on air tonight, having been pretty much down in the dumps after his debut on Sunday. He's in again now, bowls, and Cox is working this one off his pads to deep backward square. Josh Cobb is the fielder. They take a single. Hayden Walsh warming up, often to be called upon in these middle overs. Usually bowls the 7th over, actually. I expected him to bowl this one, but Darley entrusted with it. Kimber on strike. Run for him. Pushed out in the offside. there's a hush around the ground. A cynic might say, Brad, that the crowd are in shock.
It's yeah. It's strange, isn't it? Because the Worcestershire supporters will be going, "Wow, this is great. They're 31 for 5." But it's not a tight, tense finish, is it?
No.
Which you kind of expect from T20.
Yes.
Sometimes games can be. I'm not saying
if you're on a winning streak, a game like that is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
A game like this. Darley again, Cox defends. But if you've turned up, just wanted to have an exciting game, you might feel it's a bit disappointed. And I mean, I think it impacts upon the crowd when a campaign is, to all intents and purposes, over, as it is for the Rapids. Even this afternoon, I was thinking there won't be as many people just turning up tonight to watch and paying on the day, as it were, as there would be if the Rapids were in with a chance of the dot ball of qualification. The Foxes are in with a chance of qualification, but defeat tonight will be tough for them. 6
lost, isn't it? Can't afford to lose another one.
Have to win every one after this. But as we keep saying, it just reminds us that the Rapids haven't been that bad. Run here for Cox, sliced away on the out. Offside, end of the over from Darley, another tidy one from him. Just 3 runs coming from it. The Foxes, after 7, 32 for 5.
I'm just chuckling because Rob Jones is in action again as 12th man for Worcestershire, and he just took the helmet on and left it halfway across the square for Gareth Roderick to come and collect. He wasn't going to take it all the way out to him. A born comedian.
He is. Great character.
It's going to be Hayden Walsh, the American, born in the American Virgin Islands. From the Diglas End. Ben Cox sweeps for 4. Nice shot. Just a bit short there. Walsh quickly onto it, whips it away.
It's amazing, isn't it? They practice for ages beforehand. They bowl some looseness, and they still come on. One halfway down first time.
Yeah. Walsh's next ball swept again. Better ball though, but swept off the pads this time to backward a square on the leg side. Not many supporters travel these days for T20 games. Maybe local derbies. I see there's a man in front of us with a very bright Foxes hat on.
I've seen a few. Seen a few tonight. A lot of breasts from Leicestershire in the box.
Oh yeah. Here's the next ball, which is played out to mid-wicket for a single.
A heavy contingent, I thought, from BBC Radio Leicester and
three of them. Yeah. All very nice people, I have to say. I have to say that because I might need their help at some time. Walsh. Yeah, that's very short, but a short and a quicker delivery, punched out on the offside. Tom Taylor is the fielder there. Back for a couple. 8 off the over so far, 8 off 4 balls. Generally been very frugal, Hayden Walsh.
Yeah.
This ball very wide outside the off stump. Oh, Ned Pollock. Well, that is unusual. Usually a decent fielder, Ed Pollock, but he's let that one go through his hands. He's got some bandaging on his right hand. Maybe a lapse of concentration, thought they might be coming back for 2.
I think he just took his eye off it, didn't he?
Yeah, most unusual.
Very, very poor at this level.
So Walsh is going to have an expensive over. In fact, that one's over at extra cover and away for 4 more. 20 off the over. 18.
16.
16. They'll get there in the end.
Poor though, isn't it? Poor. Shouldn't
Yeah.
have been. Poor. 2 bad balls that got put away for 4.
Yeah.
And a terrible piece of fielding. So sloppy cricket from the Rapids, which just goes to show that if you lose focus and concentration, even at this level, you will be punished. And it could just be an over that gets Leicestershire interested again. Anyway, Ethan Brooks is going to have a bowl with his little variations. Lots of changes of pace. The odd little knuckleball. No great pace.
Ooh.
And he starts with a ball which is smashed down the ground for 6 by Louis Kimber. Massive shot, beautifully hit. And there you go, that's what I mean. Just an over that changes the mood, like the one that we just had.
I think that
Followed up by another
over.
over that changes the mood, perhaps. And suddenly, a team that looks down and out can be back in the hunt. There's a long way to go, but suddenly, 20 odd runs off 7 balls. It looks a bit different. Brooks bowls, takes the pace off this one. Kimber just off the back foot gets a single.
I think
Seriously,
the score is
25 off 8 deliveries, and suddenly, even though it's still a tall order, and they're a long way behind the 8 ball, the mood has changed, and 2 batters punch gloves with a newfound belief.
I think the scorers were in danger for that 6.
Yeah, it was a great shot. We do know that Louis Kimber knows where the middle of his bat is. Brooks again to Cox this time. Again pace off and just a single. So, just a little bit of food for thought for Brett D'Oliveira, the Rapids captain out there. Brooks again to Kimber. Driven down the ground, 6 more. It's gone over hose at long on. Louis Kimber. Well, we said it. Somebody's got to get 80 off 40. Maybe even something a bit more sensational than that. Louis Kimber might be the man. This over, 6. 1, 1, 6. 62 for 5 now, the Foxes. Suddenly, the accelerator's being pressed. Ethan Brooks, expensive so far. What's his answer going to be? Comes in again now. Bowls to Kimber, who flat bats this, but straight to D'Oliveira. At extra cover, no run this time. 1 ball left in the over.
I was just looking at. I don't think somebody got hit when that last 6 went into the crowd. It came very close to them. I think it might have scared a couple of people over there.
Last ball of the
Frightened.
over. Brooks. Kimber, keeper standing up.
There he goes.
Slower, big again, huge again. All the way again from Kimber. Massive over, 20 from it, 18 from the previous over. Game on. 68 for 5 off 9. And the Rapids was 77 for 3. Suddenly, not that much in it in terms of runs. 2 more wickets down, but Kimber and Cox between them. Kimber 21 off just 7 deliveries. Cox 19 off 12. They have changed the mood completely here at New Road.
Brett D'Oliveira bringing himself into the attack. Pace off, which, as we saw in the Worcestershire innings, is the way to bowl on this pitch. Cox pushing, should be 1.
I'd have let him have 2, I think.
Yeah.
Well, you give Brett D'Oliveira credit as captain. He's stepped up to bowl when it mattered. He's taken Hayden Walsh out of the attack after just 1 over, and Walsh has actually been pretty tidy for most of this campaign, and he's backing himself, D'Oliveira.
D'Oliveira to Kimber, could be interesting. And Kimber goes back, and it's a quicker delivery from D'Oliveira, a flatter delivery, pushed him back onto his stumps.
All eyes on Lewis Kimber.
Next ball from D'Oliveira. He's gone back and he's got this one away in the air. Is it safe though? Oh! Has he caught that? No, he hasn't. That would have been a spectacular catch. Ethan Brooks down on the boundary, went full length. I think he got a hand on it. But it's over the rope for 6 more.
This is
Tremendous
incredible.
blow. 27 off 9. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Kimber again. Now he's gone down he's beaten Tom Taylor at long off for
31 off 10.
4.
You've just got to keep, I think D'Oliveira's going to think, well, I've just got to keep bowling, and he's going to hole out in a minute. He's going to hole out. But if he doesn't, the longer he goes, more of a game we've got. Incredible striking from Kimber.
Next ball, it's gone again.
That's 6.
This is in the air and it's over Taylor. That's 6 more. This is tremendous stuff. Now that wasn't, 1 or 2 of the earlier ones a bit sluggish, but that was just
beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
what a shot.
The grounds aren't big enough anymore, brothers.
The bats are too big and the grounds are too
Grounds
small.
aren't big enough. That was brilliant. 37 off 11. Fantastic.
Could be some sort of a record to go here. D'Oliveira's next ball pushes him back this time. They're not going to get a run though. It's backward of square on the offside, and Harry Darley does the fielding. So
45 off the last 3 overs.
a bit of pace back on here. Matthew Waite is going to bowl.
I think it's 45 off the last 3. 20 off that one. No, 17 off that one.
Yeah, 17 off the last
18 off the one before. 35 for 30. Yeah, 45. It might be 55.
It's a funny old game, this.
53 off the last 3. Extraordinary stuff. This partnership.
60. No,
Yeah.
sorry. I misread that.
Wait to Cox, happy to get a single.
57, 58.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah,
58, I think.
Amazing. You thought it was game over when Nation was out. 28 for 5 in the 6. You thought, that's it, it's game over. Louis Kimber didn't. There's a man who is in magnificent ball striking form. 37 off 12. And Matthew Waite is now in the firing line. He's at 5-6 is Kimber. Big shout for LBW as he swings at this one. Umpire Anthony Harris is not interested. And it's a rare dot ball. Well, you wanted a bit of a game, Bradley?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said the crowd wanted a bit of a game.
Yeah, they probably don't want.
Louis
They
Kimber,
probably don't now.
Louis
Worcestershire
Kimber
supporters.
is keeping everybody interested, that's for sure. Goes for another big hit, doesn't time this one, just a single up to long on. Well bowled Matthew Waite. Just an over that goes for 7 or 8 would be
Yeah.
welcome as far as the Rapids are concerned. Foxes fans, hope you're enjoying this at home, watching Kimber, as many of you will have done recently in that absolutely magnificent championship innings down at Hove. Full toss, Cox drives, single. 2 balls left in the over. Waite is conceded 3. He will be very, very keen to see if he can get out of this over without going to the ropes. Certainly without going over the ropes. But Kimber, sensational. 5 6s and a 4 in his 38. Well bowled. Yorker from Waite. Crowd showing their appreciation of a dot ball with a spontaneous ripple of applause.
Got to get your chair fixed, mate. It's creaking like my knees
Yeah,
doing.
sorry. No, that is my knees.
Oh, is it?
No, sorry about that. Yeah, shall I stand?
No, don't worry.
Wait again. Smashed by Kimber this time for 4. So he does go the boundary, but not all the way for 6, just for 4. Decent over from Matthew Waite, going for just 7, which doesn't sound too great, but at this stage, there's a massive improvement. How about this? The comparison. 92 for 5 off 11. The Foxes, 95 for 4 off 11. The Rapids. There's not much in it. It is game on.
Certainly is.
Hayden Walsh to continue. Worcestershire fans will be thinking we are quite capable of losing.
Oh, snatching defeat from the jaws of
in a
victory.
winning position, and it could be happening again.
Oh, some people walking in front of the side screen. Can you not tell those people to sit down? Thank you very much. In white tops, as if they couldn't have been seen in black tops. Yes, indeed. Walsh it is. And Cox plays him. Oh, good stop by D'Oliveira. Cut off the single. Make sure that Ben Cox stayed on strike.
Fantastic piece of work.
No idiot at hitting the ball hard and long, but good effort this time. Swept down backward of square for a single. The golden boots of Kashi Valley. Kimber, bat waving, strikes the pad, missing leg stump by a country mile. But a dot ball. Kimber again goes big. Where's that gone? Oh, and it's gone past Ethan Brooks for 6 or 4. The umpire's asking the fielder. Nobody seems to know, so it's a 4. Another mighty blow. 46 off 18. Fastest 50 in T20 cricket is off 16 balls. What must that have been like? Brett D'Oliveira shuffling fielders round. 97 for 5. 88 runs needed off 50 balls. Walsh in. Clubbed away. Not off the full face this time. For a single. Last ball of Walsh is over. Ooh, off an edge. Racing away. Gone for 4. Not where he was aiming it really, Ben Cox, but they all count. Oh, Leicestershire have got a few people here. They're singing bawdy songs.
Well, they're now ahead on the comparison. Leicestershire. They're only 1 more wicket down than Worcestershire were at this point, so
we've got another Cox on the field.
Extraordinarily, you'd have to say that they're
Ollie Cox is on his 12th man.
Favourites.
Has Ethan Brooks hurt himself? Looks like he's heading off. Well, Tom Taylor.
Hose, I think.
Adam Hose. Somebody who dived on the far side. Yeah, it is Adam Hose. Tom Taylor. Can he halt the mayhem, I suppose we can call it?
So 102 for 5. Got to get Kimber out. Taylor into him, bowls. Kimber swings hard at this, just gets one. Into long off.
Adam
So
Hose,
yeah, 102 for 5 off the 12th over, and the Rapids were 99 for 4. So in many ways you would say that the Foxes are now favourites. Still got Lewis Goldsworthy and Ben Mike to come, both perfectly capable batsmen. Cox single to him, square on the offside.
Adam Hose had a groin problem, didn't field for much of the Lancashire innings at Old Trafford, so I suspect that might well be the problem again.
Well, half an hour ago, brothers, you wouldn't have thought we were going to have a really tight one here, but it now looks as though it could go all the way, doesn't it? And the Foxes might keep alive that hope of qualification.
Ooh.
Kimber smashes this one straight down the ground.
This is 50.
Absolutely sensational from Lewis Kimber. 50 off 21 deliveries. 5 sixes and 4 fours. We've seen Kimber play well before, but until that innings at Hove recently, you wouldn't have had him down as one of the greatest ball strikers in domestic white ball cricket. But it just shows you. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't capable of playing that kind of innings, but he is clearly a man who, at the moment, is very, very confident. Wide from Taylor, could see what he was trying to do, but Kimber realised fairly early on that he didn't need to play at that one.
That last 4 that he whacked down the ground nearly took the umpire out. You've got to be on your guard, haven't you? And in fact, we have seen umpires with armed guards before now.
Have. It's quite well bowled by Taylor. Slightly slower, slightly wider. He struggled a bit, Taylor, at bowling at the death in this campaign. Well, Worcestershire generally have struggled bowling at the death, which is why those who have seen them a lot in this campaign would say that you'd probably put the Foxes as favourites now, because the last 5 overs in particular of most innings have proved expensive. Ben Cox, junior partner here, but he's played very well. That's down the leg side. It's another wide from Taylor, second of the over. And 9 off this over so far. 2 balls left. 111 for 5. Worcestershire were 111 off 13. So at the end of this over, the Foxes are going to be moving ahead on the comparison, albeit they are still, at the moment, 1 wicket more down. Heck of a partnership this. Cox drives off the back foot, well fielded by Kashif Ali at backward point. Another dot ball now would mean 111 for both sides off 13 overs. But absolutely game on here at New Road. If you thought it was all over when that first wicket went down, you haven't been watching.
Wasn't all over, and there was nobody on the pitch.
You haven't been watching the Rapids this season.
As Kenneth Wilson may not have said.
1 ball left in the over. Short from Taylor, pulled by Cox. Well fielded. Down at fine leg by Ollie Cox, 12th man. And they take 2. So the end of the over, 113 for 5. 11 came from that one. The Rapids were 111 for 4. Lost their 5th wicket in the 15th over. So the Foxes now in front, I think. And I'd probably have them as favourites, brothers.
And they were 28 for 5. Well, one man doesn't make a team, but one man is making a big difference to a team here. So, helmet on from wicketkeeper Roderick, and it looks as if Ethan Brooks is going to bowl from the Diglis end. Well, never said this before, but it's a funny old game. Brett D'Oliveira meticulously setting his field. Cox wondering if he's, Ollie Cox wondering if he's in the right place at extra cover, and D'Oliveira himself goes inside the circle at square leg. Brooks right arm over. Neesham, it's away, it's in the air, could be out, is out! Good catch, Josh Cobb judged it well, it was spinning, it was going away from him all the time. Fine catch by Josh Cobb. Is that the one? Is that the catch? Is that the wicket that swings this game back in Worcestershire's favour? But what an innings. What an innings from Kimber. Should get a massive ovation from the New Road crowd here. Ben Mike on his way in. Kimber walking very slowly off the pitch. And indeed, he is getting a good hand. You don't see many knocks like that too often. And if he'd have stayed in, I think the Foxes on the win barometer, what's it called, the Wasp?
Yeah, the Wasp.
Would have been well ahead, but now it's a different game. New batsman in. Still 72 to win off 41 balls. Another wicket here. What were the Rapids? 130 odd for 7, weren't they? But
yeah, 136 for 7 after 16.
There was that over of Scott Curry's that went for a lot. So Brooks to Mike, who pushes the ball back down the pitch. Bowler does his own fielding. It's a round of applause.
Two Ollie Coxes out there now then?
Yes, although the one doesn't like being called Ollie. Down the leg side, called a wide, yeah. Gareth Roddick can't take it cleanly, but he gets across and blocks it. Batting on middle and off here. Ben Mike, as batsmen often do these days. Next ball flicked away off the pads. Golden boots. Kashi Fali comes into field.
It'd be so easy if all players wore
Different coloured boots.
Yeah, it would,
don't
wouldn't it?
suggest that, mate.
It would be so easy.
One of the most annoying things in cricket, Gareth Roderick's doing it now, is they have numbers on their backs and then put sweaters on, so you can't see the numbers. Brooks next ball,
Bold.
just on our outside off stump, push to Ollie Cox. Shall I tell you something about Ollie Cox?
He's a Canadian international.
No. He was in the barbers the last time I had a haircut.
Wow.
Last November.
Flipping heck.
We were in the same barbers together.
I think you might have told me that before.
Did I? It was the day before I met the King. Did I tell you that before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Many times.
Brooks in bowls. Pushed out to D'Oliveira, who is as sprightly as ever in the field.
You know what, brothers? You can pretend to be a maverick and you can wear that hair in a ponytail and have your beard and everything else, but I know you still went to get your hair cut before you went to meet the king.
Yeah, but didn't have it all cut. Didn't have it cut short, though. Yeah. About the same length as the king's, actually. Brooks, back to the cricket. In, bowls. Slow ball. Wide of the off stump. Well bowled. That is a good over. So a wicket. 2 off the bat and a wide from Ethan Brooks. 69 off 36.
It's still really close.
Well, we all know, as you said before, we've seen Ben Cox do it before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And he's got every motivation, hasn't he, as well? Coming back here, absolutely every motivation. Cracking game developing when we didn't expect it. Mainly thanks to Louis Kimber. Just to give you, again, the stats on Kimber. 53 off 23 deliveries, 5 sixes and 5 fours. And he's reignited this game and had very good support from Ben Cox, who's on 31 off 22. And facing now as Hayden Walsh comes back into the attack to bowl the 15th over of this innings. He just works this one away on the onside, and 2 young athletic batsmen make light work of 2 runs, even though the ball would only travelled about halfway to the boundary.
Yeah, I think Ben Cox called for 2.
Yeah, he knew straight away.
Almost as soon as he did it.
No run this time though, as he drives that one straight to D'Oliveira. That extra cover. Full toss. Driven down to long off. Just 1 this time. Mike wanted 2, but never going to get back. Good bit of work.
Tom Taylor down there.
Taylor down there. Got the throw back in. 2 a ball. The requirement 66 off 33. Doable. Especially with shots like that from Mike, but in fact pace taken off it by Walsh. Got a hand on it. Just a single.
He's damaged his finger here as well.
He has. He would have been better off leaving it alone.
Might want a
She's
13.
been a busy girl, the Worcestershire physio, running out now to tend to Hayden Walsh's finger. Can't put that cold spray on fingers, I don't think. So
he's looking very frustrated. Maybe he's put it out.
He might have done. He might have put it out.
Oh, she's going to put it back in.
Yeah, she's put it out. He's not looking. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. He's looking away. He's looking away. She's doing. Oh. You've got to. Yeah, I tell you what, you need some courage to do this as a physio as well, I think.
Yeah.
There you go, she says. There you go. I've done it now.
Well, it's his bowling hand as well.
Get a bit of strapping out. Oh, I don't know. Has she put it back in? Is it still sticking out? I've got the binoculars on it. Oh. He's holding his hand up. Rueful look on his face. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. Hayden Walsh. He's got damaged finger. Put his hand up to that drive from Ben Mike. And I think his finger has been dislocated. Gareth Roderick knows a thing or two about dislocated digits.
Yeah.
He's had a few and he's just gone over to lend his advice.
Well, if he comes off, that's a bowler short for Worcestershire. Somebody would have to.
Josh Cobb might finish it off. So he's in his 3rd over, Hayden Walsh. Just for those of you who are just joining us earlier today, Worcestershire 184 for 8 in their 20 overs. Top scorer was Adam Hose with 63 from 39. Ashley Valley made 41 from 25.
I think Rob Jones is on, which means that Hayden Walsh is coming off.
Yeah, looks like he is. So more problems for Worcestershire, more injuries. They've got a game tomorrow, remember, away at Edgbaston. They're already without several players injured. And now Hayden Walsh coming off the field. If it is a dislocation, it might be sorted out by tomorrow. Rob Jones is coming on. He won't bowl. Hayden Walsh gets applause if you wish, and he hadn't stuck his hand up to try and stop that one. And the Worcestershire bench will be just wondering,
just trying to
where do we go from here? Harry Darley is going to finish the over. It's 120 for 6. There are 32 balls remaining. The Foxes need 65 to win. And Hayden Walsh has been withdrawn from the attack.
And if he's broke it, withdrawn from the rest of the
Could
campaign.
be withdrawn from the campaign. If it is broken, it might not be. We'll have to wait for news on that. Things go from bad to worse for Worcestershire from an injury point of view. And here's Harry Darley. First ball is a wide down the leg side. Bangkok's down on one knee, looking to help it on its way, but didn't manage to reach it. So 121 for 6. So Worcestershire already without Nathan Smith, Yadvinder Singh, Ben Gibbon. Help me, brothers. Plenty of others. Joe Leach.
Yeah.
Darley in. Cox gets a single. Might get 2. Will get 2. Good running by Cox. And lots of others. Worcestershire's bowling resources in complete disarray. They've been loaning players in for championship games. And another injury tonight to Hayden Walsh means that as they go into T20 games tomorrow and on Sunday, their resources will be even more stretched. Youngster Darley in, bowls, Cox drives. Again, he's going to get 2, which is what they need. 2 a ball will win it. And that's the end of the over. Darley completed on behalf of Hayden Walsh. 125 for 6 off 15. Worcestershire off 15 were 131 for 5. There's very little in it.
So Waite's got 2.
Cox.
Waite's got 2 left. Taylor's got 1 left. Brooks has got 2 left.
Yeah. Cobb has got 2 left.
Yeah.
D'Oliveira has got
3
left, and he's going to bowl this one.
Big over this. Mike to face. Two is the shout. As soon as he's hit the ball, 2. Have to hurry, which they do. Good throw coming in from Ollie Cox.
Two a ball. That's all they need.
Ooh, bit streaky that one. Bottom edge, inside edge. To fine leg. Won't be too disappointed. Brings Cox on strike. He's been out there for a lot longer. 27 balls he's been out there for his 38. Got some runs in the match at Grace Road as well. Back push. Gonna have to be quick. Good running again. Pollock inside the circle, but have to go just slightly to his left. 4 off 3 in this over so far. Mike. Clubbers that away in the air, but it's just right down the slot for Ethan Brooks, who also has hurt himself. Not to catch, by the way, which you probably worked out for yourselves, but it's 1, it's a single. Next ball, worked away, 2. You can hear the shout from here, 2, and they'll get 2 as well. Good calling, good running. Oh, a bit sloppy from Worcestershire. Luckily, there was a man backing up.
Ed, you know when Ed Pollock let that ball go through his legs for 4, and it should have been 1?
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, it's not going to matter.
But it might do.
It might well do.
Cox on 41 from 29. sweeps. Should be 1. Is 1. Kashi Farley, the fielder. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 off the over. 52 off 24. Do you know when this competition started, if you said, well, then 52 to win off 4 overs, you'd have said, no, they won't get that. But
it happens all the time.
It's a funny old game.
It happens all the time. Well, it just shows you one partnership, one really good innings can get you back into a game, and it came from Lewis Kimber. Excellent partnership with Ben Cox. It's now up to Cox to carry things on, but if they get to the last over, needing 14, 15, got a real chance, I think. Ben Cox has done it before for Worcestershire on many occasions. They need 52 off 4, as you say. They need one big over. Will it be this one? Matthew Waite's back. Starts with a full toss, gets away with it. Just a single. Gone a bit gloomy now.
Gone a bit quiet as well.
Gone a bit quiet, a bit tense. Well, you said it. They didn't want to see an easy win. They wanted to see a tight game. The fans that have turned up, and there's a hush around the ground now. It is going to be tight. Worcestershire, can they get one over the line in their favour, having seen so many slip away in this campaign? Ooh, that's big from Mike. It's high up in the air. Who's underneath it? It is out. Caught it long on. Nicely judged catch.
He's just coming back.
Tom Taylor,
yeah. He was just behind the dugout from us.
Maybe just took the pace off it. Matthew Waite. Ben Mike went for the big hit. And Tom Taylor, long on, had a long time to look at it as it came down from the sky. And he made no mistake. So Matthew Waite picks up his second wicket. Ben Mike is out, and it's 134 for 7. Lewis Goldsworthy, fair to say the last of the recognised sort of middle order batters, comes out to join Ben Cox. And Ben Mike went for 6 off 9 deliveries. Ben Cox 43 off 31, needs to get the strike. Lewis Goldsworthy, right-handed, waits now as Matthew Waite is in. And he is caught. What a great catch by Gareth Roderick. Edged, diving to his right. Really superb catch from Gareth Roderick, and then the non-striker Ben Cox would have admired that as a fellow wicketkeeper. Low edge, dive into his right, picked it up beautifully. 134 for 8. Goldsworthy goes first ball, and now Ben Cox has an awful lot of pressure.
I think that was probably second slips catch, wasn't it? If there'd have been a second slip,
really good catch.
he would have let it go in there, but brilliant. And got another bowler on a hat-trick.
Yeah, second man out, first ball tonight. Saw that earlier on. Matthew Waite's picked up 3 wickets so far, having been out first ball himself.
Yeah.
And now he is bowling to Scott Curry. And Curry avoids the hat-trick, gets a single. 51 needed now. 50 needed. 22 deliveries, I think. Tall order now. Ben Cox needs to clear the ropes, I think, which is something he hasn't yet done. He's hit 4 4s, no 6s yet from the former Worcestershire keeper. Advances down the pitch, can't really time it, squeezes it out on the onside. Good running, they're back for 2. Bit of a wild throw from Ethan Brooks, but they were always going to get 2.
Chilly evening now.
Yeah, it is. Got my shorts on. Big mistake. Oh, flat batted from Cox. Fantastic effort at a catch from D'Oliveira. Dive into his right, goalkeeper style. Brilliant effort. Tipped it over the bar. They get 2. End of the over from Matthew Waite. Picked up 2 wickets. Just 6 runs came from it. Really important over. 3 left. 139 for 8. And they now need 46 off 3, and that is a tall order.
Yeah. Still got a batsman in Ben Cox, but I'm sure that
Great catch by Gareth Roderick.
Scott Curry wouldn't call himself a batsman. Brooks to continue. Well, there's quite a few coats going on around the ground now, folks, and not many in shirt sleeves. Brooks it is. Driven. 2 long off. Should be 1. Pollock the fielder out there. One only. Well, Ben Cox, if he wins it from here, has got to play. I wouldn't say the innings of his lifetime.
Even better than he did in the final in 2018.
Well, yeah. When he took 14 off 1 ball. Joffer Archer bowled a waist-high full toss that went for 6. He's got that away, but should come back for 2. Tom Taylor the fielder. Tom Taylor's throw hits the stumps. But Cox passed the stumps by the time the ball makes contact with them. Umpire Harris has rebuilt the castle. Punch down the ground. Should only be 1. Taylor again, the fielder. 50 for Ben Cox. How about it? Just raises his bat gently around the ground. Oh, Curry's got that away. No, he's just dropped short. Just dropped short of Taylor at long on.
So bowled again, that.
Just kept it back.
Changed his pace really well, hasn't he?
2 balls of the 3rd over for Brooks to go. 1 for 28, as it shows on your screen. Next ball just whipped away from outside the off stump down to mid wicket for a couple. The lights on the scoreboard beginning to shine brightly. Cox works this one away. It'll only be a single this time. End of the over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off it. 2 overs to go. 38
good,
needed to win.
Good from Ethan Brooks, I think. Got some real treatment when he first came on, didn't he? His first over was absolutely mauled by Lewis Kimber, but he's come back well, done a good job there, and 8 off that over. Very good effort. Ben Cox on strike, 53 off 37, but 2s are not doing it now. He's got to try and clear the ropes, I would say. At least he's got to hit some more boundaries. He's hit 4 4s in his 53, and it was alright when Kimber was doing the business at the other end. Tom Taylor to him now. And that inside edge, good diving stop by Gareth Roderick. Just a single. 37 off 11. Tall order. now.
It's darker than it looks on your pictures, folks. Not dark enough to come off, but...
No. But you know that, don't you, when you win the toss here and choose to bowl first? It's a good shot. Wow. Straight down the ground for 4. And that's what it's got to be now. Boundaries are the order of the day. That's a good shot from Scott Curry. 6 actually, and umpire Harris signals. I didn't think it had gone all the way. It was, to be fair, right behind the dugout that we're sitting behind, the Worcestershire dugout. Couldn't see it, but umpire Harris signals 6. So good from Curry. 31 needed off 10. What's Taylor's response? Sliced away on the offside. Kashif Ali, the fielder, just a single. 30 off 9. Seen it done. Can Ben Cox clear the ropes? 54 off 38 for the former Worcestershire keeper. Scott Curry now 10 off 5. Lewis Kimber 53 off 23. Nobody else has really done a lot. Cox unable to do much with this, just gets a single. Looking for a sort of slog sweep, gets a bottom edge. Well bowled by Taylor. 2 balls left in the over. 29 needed off 8. Couple of boundaries now. Get it down to 20 off the last.
Couple of
you
sixes.
Never know. Curry on strike, goes back in his crease. That's 6. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Top deck of the Graham Hick Pavilion. Big man, long levers, went back in his crease, set himself and launched it over mid-wicket. Brilliant from Scott Curry.
Another 6 here.
23 needed off 7. Another 6 here will make it very tight. Tom Taylor hasn't been happiest bowling at the end of the innings in the whole of this campaign. 162 for 8. Curry goes to 16 off 6. Brilliant striking from the big man. Big ball, this big delivery. Last one of the over. And it's a dot ball. Oh, it's a wide. It's a wide. Applause from the fans, but umpire Anthony Harris says no, that's a wide. 22 off 7. Stranger things have happened. Shades of Old Trafford, brothers.
No ball goes for 6 here, which is about the worst scenario.
Tries for the full toss. For the wide one, I mean. Ends up. Tries for the Yorker. Ends up as a full toss. Hammered for 4. End of the over. Well, we have a game on. Scott Curry has turned it round. He's 20 off 7. It's 167 for 8. 20 off that 19th over. Bit of a disaster from a Rapids point of view. 18 needed off the last over. Who's your money on, David Bradley?
I don't know, but I'll get our colleague who knows how these things work to press a button here, or else we're going to disappear. That's it.
There
Good
we go.
lad. That's it. A man who knows what he's doing.
Who's your money on? Come on.
They should defend 18. They should defend 18.
Who's going to bowl it? Matthew
Waite.
Matthew Waite. That means we can give you the other bowling figures as the over goes on. Tom Taylor, 4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 36, and 20 of those off his last over.
Waite to Cox. Gone! Bowl, trying a scoop shot. Annoyed with himself, Ben Cox. That should be it. Game over, you would think. Going to get a good hand here, Ben Cox. Fine innings, but trying the scoop over the wicket-keeper's head. Didn't come off. Josh Hull should be heading to the middle. If it's not him, we're in serious trouble. But
Matthew Waite, 4-for.
yeah, and didn't bowl in the early games of this competition. Getting a big hand there, Ben Cox. As indeed he should. So, 18 off 5 with your number 11 facing. You'd. Where's me money now, Frank Watson?
Well,
I've still got your tenner.
you should be able to. You should be able to defend 18. Good start, but yeah, good effort from Ben Cox. Not quite enough.
Wait the hole. Swing and a miss.
Ben Cox and Lewis Kimber, between them, 108 off 63 deliveries. Cox top scored 55 off 40. Kimber got them right back into it, 53 off 23. Other than that, apart from Curry's flurry, see what I did there?
Very good.
Nobody else has really made much of an
Wait to
impression
hole.
with
Gets
the
bat on it. Should only be a single. I'm not sure what Matthew Waite's best bowling figures are in T20 cricket.
These will be they, I think. Pretty sure they will. 4 for 21. I don't think he'll have done any better than that. But I'm sure you're going to tell us, aren't you?
Well, I'm looking in the book that tells us these things. But
He hasn't had anything like this year, that's
No.
for sure.
3 left. And a swat.
There you go.
Well, a massive wahoo on that one, and it landed about a foot in front of him. Now the crowd are enjoying it. It was tense and tight, but now they're thinking. Matthew Waite. 3 for 18. His best before today. So obviously his best because he's taken 4. 2 balls remaining on what has turned out to be a bit of a gloomy evening at New Road, it has to be said. Connection made with this one, whacked it down the ground, and it's gone. Caught. Fifer for Matthew Waite. Tom Taylor, I think, was coming in off the boundary there to take that one in the dark. And victory for Worcestershire by 17 runs. Probably 16 runs. There was 17 needed to win, so I would say victory by 16 runs. But a victory, which hasn't happened too often for Worcestershire in this competition. Players shaking hands, the crowd disappearing into the city for maybe a celebratory Diet Coke or two. T20 cricket tomorrow night at Edgbaston, which will be covered, of course, by the Warwickshire stream, as it were. But there's commentary on BBC Hereford and Worcester, if you want a slightly biased commentary.
What are you saying?
Frank Watson and Chris Williams will be there. And then we're back here on Sunday for the Yorkshire Vikings.
So just to give you the final bowling figures, Matthew Waite eventually finished 3.5 overs, no maidens, 21 for 5. 5 for 21. Brilliant from him. D'Oliveira none for 25 off 2. Walsh none for 30 off 2.4, left the field injured. Brooks 1 for 31 off 3. Taylor 2 for 36 off 4. Cobb none for 9 off 2. Darley 2 for 11 off 2.2 overs. Worcestershire eventually winning by 16 runs, and well, there's another one of those games that it could have gone either way. It's reminded us that even if you have a disastrous power play, you can still get back into the game. But I wouldn't say Worcestershire played a lot better than they did in quite a few of the other games. It's just the way it goes.
Yeah, well, Kimber was the man who got Leicester back into it, and hadn't it been for him, it could have been a very one-sided finale. Thank you for being with us this evening, folks. Hope you've enjoyed our commentary. At least you've been able to listen to it. Thanks to all our guys out on the cameras on a bit of a chilly evening it's turned out to be, so there might be some frozen fingers operating the cameras today, but thanks very much to them, and we'll be back here on Sunday with more commentary. Thanks for being with us. Have a very good evening. Put your central heating on.